that.
Wow.
Hey, hey, welcome everybody. All looks like we got 5 people here watching. Welcome. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, David, for joining in. And we got Chadwick's channel of stuff, and we got Eriko. Let's see. We got Eriko saying hi. This is going to be spooky. We hope so. And Chadwick is joining us from waiting to get into Monster Palooza in Burbank. So very cool. Glad to have you here.
Do you want me to read them?
And it's alive. Yeah, we're here. Okay. I think you can help me out when you need to for sure. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. And Paul's got some spooky, what is that from? That looks really familiar. That's the Terrifier?
No, it's random. It
looks pretty creepy.
That's his real face.
That's Paul's real face. Nice. Oh man,
I kind of like it more. I'm sorry to say.
Well, it's pretty creepy. I think if you opened the door on trick or treat, Halloween evening for trick or treat, the kids would run screaming the other way, probably. But maybe not today. They're pretty jaded today. Well, thanks guys for joining me for this little scary birthday bash. And before we get started, I just want to show off a little bit of stuff that my wife got me for my birthday. Just a very small thing. She made me a delicious cake, as anyone who saw my post saw there. And
happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, good. Pour out a 40 for your homies. Let's. So I'll show off my Ramones shirt she got me. I'd be wearing it if it wasn't for it being long sleeve, but pretty cool shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, those of us geeky guys with wives or spouses that may not be as geeky. I think David's husband is pretty geeky, but too. But I don't know. I don't think Paul's wife is particularly so, and my wife certainly isn't. But
my wife is hardcore geeky.
Oh, good. Well, my wife has her things, but she knows I collect Calvin and Hobbes. I don't have all of them, and so she found this on Yahoo auctions, and she went to the trouble to come upstairs and look through my Calvin and Hobbes books to make sure she wasn't getting me a duplicate. So that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this one you might get a kick out of, David. She also found this Charlton $6 Million Man comic from 1976.
How awesome.
Someone had this in Japan.
Wow.
So it's a little beat up and a little faded, but it's okay. And, pretty cool. So I don't have many comics. I don't usually collect many of them, but all that David and his comic book friends have got me a little interested in getting a few. And you were saying, David, that Charlton kind of specialized in licensing TV and cartoon characters and stuff, right?
Also Dell. Charlton and Dell.
Right.
Yeah.
But you said Charlton was the place where comic writers went to die, right? So.
Yes. That's true.
Oh, we got some people. We got let's see here. We got Jake. Hey, Jake. What a bunch of queeps. Oh, we got Greg from Ghost Readers in the Sky. Hi, Greg. Hello. And we got Connor from Movie Snapper. It's morning for him too. And we had Eriko laughing at something we said. That's good. And Tim from these are the guys. Remember, David, we had our first live stream on your channel, and I said the Eebs guys had something going on. Paul was on their channel. So Tim here. Hi, Tim. The Ramones are the best, by the way. Yeah, the Ramones are great. Yeah, thank you. Tim and Jake from Pulp Mortem and Nick from the Book Graveyard, who it might be past his bedtime already. I don't know if he'll show up, but no, I'm joking. Nick's great. So those three guys run this show, the Elusive Exclusive Book Society. And I've been lucky enough to be a guest on it, and so has Paul. So anyway, so what we're just going to do here today, other than just kind of hang out, it's just kind of a hangout, is show off a little spooky stuff, horror related stuff, I guess. I have a few movies and books and whatever you guys got. Who would like to start off? You want to go, Paul? Once you get your drink out of your beard, or you want to go?
I might as well start with like my favorite horror movie of all time. And just,
okay, hold on. Let me get you big here, Paul. Hold on. There we go.
So my favorite
Steve's here from Check Your Shelf. Cool.
Is The Thing.
Wow. Cool.
Oh yeah.
And
Thing
I do
awesome.
have multiple versions of the book with the original Best of John W. Campbell with Who Goes There, the re-release with the script for the movie, and the new version with the extra 45 pages
Frozen Hell, right?
Included back into it.
Yeah.
So
I just read that. I just listened to that recently.
So yeah,
I just have the original version in the Best of John W. Campbell paperback thing, but that's great, sweet.
So yeah,
and the movie, of course.
Yeah, The Thing's my favorite, probably my favorite horror movie of all time. I love sci-fi horror, so we could talk sci-fi horror all day. I love, Alien and all kinds of movies like that. But with sci-fi horror, is my favorite subgenre.
Well, The Thing is just about the best. I mean, Alien is up there, but I think The Thing is about the best sci-fi horror movie you could ever hope to find. It's fantastic. I like the original, The Thing from the World, too, in its own way, very much. But it's, The Thing is a masterpiece, the John Carpenter thing.
Well, Alien is, a lot of times it's not taken for what it is. It's actually a haunted house movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Old dark house, haunted house, monster movie in space. Yeah.
It's
you guys...
that movie, actually, Alien, was kind of responsible for, Sigourney Weaver for launching the strong heroine genre of movies after that. So
yeah, I mean, the first Friday the 13th came out 2 years later, right, or something like that. So the final girl, she was maybe one of the original final girls there.
Exactly. The only ones really before that didn't get as much probably attention would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre and was it the Christmas one? I kept trying to
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas. Yeah, that came out.
I haven't seen Black Christmas. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is pretty brutal. It doesn't have a lot of blood, but it stays with you.
Yeah, creepy factor in that one.
Big time. Well, that's a great choice. That's the way to kick off. I'm glad I didn't pull it out. I thought about it, but I was like, nope. Okay, we just want to go through a few comments here. So I put them up briefly, but there's Steve from Check Your Shelf. Hi, Steve. Glad you could make it. And Jake, Thing is one of the top movies, not just horror. Yeah, that's true. It's a fantastic movie.
I have the movie poster sitting actually right behind me, but you can't see it. It's on a screen. The movie poster sitting literally right behind my head.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get many. Not going to get many people who don't like The Thing. I don't think.
Wow, there you go.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's an awesome poster. Yeah, David, you're fond of The Thing as well?
Oh man, I grew up with that movie. It's phenomenal. And even though the special effects are dated, right, they're still amazing. Because if you grew up in that time and you experienced that, those are the special effects for you. They're so awesome. Yeah,
I'll take practical effects and CGI anytime.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. I mean, yeah. And I think I still, sometimes they have the younger YouTubers who react to movies and things, and they are completely shocked when the guy's chest opens and the doctor's hands go in there, and then the head starts crawling along. That doesn't get old. That stuff still works. Yeah, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Wilford Brimley is really good in that. Yeah, that movie is so cool. The ending is just really puts it over the top. The ending is just so perfect.
I think when that movie came out, he was younger. Wilford Brimley was younger than Tim.
He's one of those guys that he was like in his early 40s or late 30s when he was in Cocoon or something, playing an old retired guy, or in the old folks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get your guys' opinion. Do you think, because I've always thought this, do you think that one of those two, either is it Keith David, the black survivor, that guy, he's an awesome actor, and Kurt Russell, I think neither of them are the Thing. I think they've killed the Thing and they're both going to freeze to death. Do you guys think one of them is the Thing? What is your opinion on that? Because, they're just sitting there at the end. Sorry, spoilers, but they're sitting there at the end, right? Just looking at each other, wondering if either one of them is the Thing.
Yeah, and he's like, we'll just sit here for a while.
Yeah, let's just sit here for a while. And then boom, 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 boom.
Everybody has their opinion, similar to Blade Runner. Was Deckard a replicant or not? It's one of those things that I don't think we're ever supposed to know. It's supposed to be a conversation forever. I think they came out with some answers, but I don't think it'll ever be definitive.
If one of them is the Thing, it doesn't matter. All they have to do is both freeze to death, because when they come to pick up the body, as soon as he thaws a little bit, he'll be wild again. So the Thing would ultimately win in that situation.
That's true. Jake Ports points out that did they establish? I forgot this. Did they establish the Thing can't have alcohol? I know they put the blood in the the electricity, but I didn't know there was an alcohol thing. Is that I don't remember that either. But if so, that's a good catch. All right. Well, David, thank you, Paul. That's a great choice. David, you want to go next? Let's get you on the big screen.
Okay, so first of all, when you slide me over, I want to say
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You're 25 years old. You look amazing for 25, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, I wish I was 25. I asked Tim, who's about 13 or something. No, Tim's about 30, and I said, "Do you want on Secret Fire Books? Do you want to switch places?" And he just laughed at me, of course, because why wouldn't he? But I would love to be 30 again. 58. I'm 58, guys. So
wow, yeah, we're the same age, right? You're a couple months older than I am. So,
but thank you.
Erica wrote, I like the Thing from Another World because the base was more cozy from 1951.
Okay, I'll put him up there.
That gave us hope. All right. So
yeah, it was more cozy, and they had that great rapport between the Army guys. So that rat-a-tat-tat Hoxie and Howard Hawks dialogue is great. So the original Thing is great. It's just it's not the same. It's the newer Thing is much closer to the original story, I think. Sorry, David.
No problem.
We were just talking about that episode of X-Files, Ice, that was just a ripoff of the Thing.
Yeah, it's good, though. That's a good episode. That first season of X-Files kicks ass. Love the X-Files. Got all 9 seasons of the originals up there, although I don't watch any of the mythology episodes anymore, just the Monster of the Week ones. Sorry, David, we're jabbering. You should go ahead and show your thing. Well, that didn't come out right. That didn't come out right. Go ahead and show your what you've chosen to share with us today that hopefully is not your thing.
I had 2 ways to start, and I was going back and forth. So I'm going to start cutesy, even though this is horror. So it's Halloween, and you get dressed up on Halloween. So I have a group of Funko Pops that are Minions, and the Minions dress up as the Universal Monster Horror characters. And so this is the Dracula. It's a Minion that is dressed up like Dracula. Here is a Minion dressed up like the Mummy. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. I think these are adorable.
Well, as long as we're good that Nick from the Book Graveyard's not here because he hates Funko Pop. So,
well, then there's something wrong with him. Look how cute this Frankenstein is. And then we've got, this one is probably my favorite. This one is the creature from the Black Lagoon Minion. And there is the bride. She's the biggest. So that one also looks like a sex toy. But I just to balance it out, I do have the regular ones. There's Frankenstein with his flower. We know what's going to happen next. Not pretty. Here's Dracula. and a couple more modern ones. I've got a ton of these, but I just grabbed some. Here's Pinhead.
Oh, Pinhead. They did a Pinhead Funko? Wow.
Yeah, look at he's holding the box in his hand. And here's Freddy.
Jake's going to get the barf pail. Freddy.
Look at his face, all gnarly, and his hat. And finally, we have, here's Pennywise. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Funkos aren't popular. I love them.
Well, I think they're very popular, but I don't know how popular they are with a certain corner of BookTube, but let's put it that way. But I think part of it is just, hey, we're manly guys. We can't talk about Funko Pop, so
I'm manly and funky.
Yeah. So. There you go.
And
there you go. So you're thanks for sharing those. That's cool. Let's see.
You're gonna.
I wonder if they're gonna get a Terrifier one next. That's maybe a little too R-rated for them. Connor has a Freddy Krueger and Jason and Pennywise. The Tim Curry Pennywise. I guess it's not the Bill Skarsgård It's more scary Pennywise.
Yeah, they have multiple versions, I believe.
You did show two of my wife's favorite movies in there with Freddy and Hellraiser. Those are two of my wife. My wife.
Whole bunch more.
Well, your wife's hardcore, Paul.
Yeah, it's funny. I love talking to my wife about her favorite movies because she's like, it's Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Fox and the Hound.
Well, I'm manly and funky. That's right. Yeah, that's the new cat. You need to put that as in your channel description there, David.
My name is Rodney, and I am funky.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn then. So I'm gonna show off a book first. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna show off two books. So I thought I had an E.F. Benson one as well, but I want to show off these. What are they? Wordsworth classics or Wordsworth editions. So I have since it was Sumerian September last month, The Haunter of the Ring and Other Tales. This one has a couple of the Kirwan and Conrad Howard's Occult Detectives. So Bob Friedman at the Occult Detective is had talked about those a lot, and I want to check those out because I never knew until he did some videos about it that Robert E. Howard dabbled in the occult detective field. And I also have this one, The Witch of Prague and Other Stories by F. Marion Crawford, who did the famous story, The Upper Berth. Very creepy story that's frequently anthologized. And I could have sworn I had an E.F. Benson one. I know these guys have done several others for pretty cheap. I think these all cost me less, like $7 or something. Yeah. I have a couple others, but I couldn't pull them out, couldn't find them. But love these little editions crammed full of cool, spooky stories. I need to find a Blackwood one. I have a lot of Blackwood, Algernon Blackwood, but they're all back home. I need to get some so I can keep up with some of the guys reading The Willows and Wendigo and stuff. I've read those in the past, but it's a long time. So just a couple of cool horror books there. Paul, how about you? What you got going on?
Oh, you want to do my favorite horror book? We can talk about my favorite horror book.
Well, yeah. Just 1 second. I want to just get Levi is in the room. Hello, Levi. So, Huntering, start with the forest and then end with Dig Me No Grave. That's a good question, Levi. Let me take a look. In the Forest of Villefort is the first one, and then ends with Pigeons from Hell. It also has the Fire of Ashburnapole. And it's got Graveyard Rats and The Haunter of the Ring and Fangs of Gold, People of the Dark, The Cairn on the Headland, The Children of the Night. The Children of the Night. And let's see. Skullface, Sea Curse. What beautiful music they make. Yes. So it's got quite a few things. Eriko talks about The Upper Berth. Yeah, it is spooky. Ken, I believe I was this year's old before I discovered Blackwood. Yeah, I know Blackwood is awesome. You guys have done a good job on Check Your Shelf talking about him. I hope you get to him some more, for sure. Okay, yeah, sorry, Paul, to interrupt you. Let's get you up there with your favorite horror book once I can figure out how to move you over there. There we go.
Not going to be anything from the original, but I have something I can show you cool. But my favorite horror book of all time is Christine. I can't help it. I love the book. I've read it multiple times. This and The Keep would be my favorite horror books. But something cool I have is I have a little display of Christine in the garage.
Can you move over a little bit? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, very cool.
Got a little toy there.
Yeah,
that's cool. Where did you pick that up?
Actually, my wife bought it for me for a birthday present one year.
That is cool.
But yeah, Christine is. I've read that. The first time I read Christine, it was New Year's Eve. I was reading it, and I decided not to go out so I could stay home and finish it.
Wow, it must have been good then. I haven't read that one. I've seen the movie, but I have. Speaking of John Carpenter, but I haven't read the book.
Yes, another John Carpenter movie. We could talk about John Carpenter movies for a whole video if you'd like, but I don't think the movie's anywhere near as good as the book. Although I appreciate what he did there, but this book is just I think part of the best part of the horror of this isn't just the fact that you have this supernatural car that's haunted, but you have probably the worst human villain in Buddy Repperton ever portrayed in a Stephen King film. He is one of the
he's awful
garbage that ever lived. And when you compare, when you add in the supernatural horror with the human horrors of how people treat people, this book spoke to me on so many levels. And I mean, it's a cool car too. So. But Stephen King really is effective at creating nasty bullies. That's for sure. This is the original paperback too that I still have from way back then. It's one I read when I was like 16 that night, 1983. The original paperback.
It's well thumbed, but it looks like it's still hanging in there.
Yeah, I've read it like probably 4 times.
I grew up on a diet of Stephen King, but I have to say that my favorite is Dolores Claiborne. Although
that's a good one.
Books that I don't know if you'd like to weigh in on that.
Me?
Yeah. Do you like that book at all?
I really don't. Oh. I like it. I like how it connects to Gerald's Game. And I actually like Gerald's Game better than Dolores Claiborne. So
the movie Dolores Claiborne is quite good, I thought.
Yeah, that movie.
That's the movie. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
No, I'm saying, that's not in my pantheon of favorite King books or movies.
Something's wrong with me.
No. I didn't. Dolores Claiborne didn't felt more like a drama than a horror film. I thought the film was really good. I didn't read the book, but my favorite King books are, besides, it's probably Dance Macabre, his book about horror in general, movies and fiction. And On Writing is great too, but I like his short story collections, Skeleton Crew and Night Shift. I think he's at his best in the short story form. I like some of his novels, but
short stories are fantastic. And I think Needful Things and The Long Walk get shafted as then they're fantastic and don't get enough love.
Have you seen that new Long Walk movie? Or I think it's playing on this.
Okay, but I really want to. Long
Got
Walk.
A few Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
I was saying Long Walk's another one of my favorites from him, and the Needful Things, like I said, is underrated. Those are ones that people don't give enough love to.
Levi is commenting on that Howard book. I have a book called The Haunter of the Ring and Other Stories, but it has a few different stories than yours. Yeah, it's probably similar edition. They like that title, obviously. It's a catchy title. I think Connor is referring to Christine. The movie was decent. I've got the book, but it's been sitting around for years untouched. So might have to polish that off, Connor.
Connor, read it
in your review pile. And Paul, Jake saying you guys are just showing off toys. That's if books are considered toys, unless he's talking about the Christine diorama or something, maybe. I don't know. Nothing wrong with toys there. Jake, I got my Godzilla somewhere around here, and I know you do somewhere too.
I got my Godzilla right here.
Okay, Paul, anything? I wanted to ask you, Paul, about The Keep. Have you read any of the other Repairman Jack novels?
Yes. So actually, my best friend's a Repairman Jack. He loves those series. But the thing is that The Keep is not only the first book is fantastic, and then you have it's actually then they added 3 more to make it a 4-book series, and the 4th book, Night World, is absolutely stunningly over the top fantastic. And it has the touch and the keep, the characters, including Repairman Jack, that come in and meet in Night World, along with the characters from the keep that have, the storyline, and they all meet in this like giant battle royale in the Night World. And but I've read some Repairman Jack. My buddy Dave wouldn't let me get away with not. But yeah, he's great. He's fantastic. But yeah, the when he comes together, when they all come together in that finale to Night World, it's fantastic.
Yeah, Levi was cracking with the jokes again here. Wasn't Christine made into a TV series? My Mother the Car. Har, har, har there, Levi. If you guys don't know what My Mother the Car is, you probably don't want to know. It's a ridiculous sitcom that lasted one season.
I know it well. But that's from way before.
And Chadwick is talking about The Shining. Yeah, The Shining is very popular King novel with fans. I know. We got... what else we got here? We missed one from. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah. We got the Beast Reads. I forgot his first name. Dang it! Sorry, Beast. He started his channel and it's really cool. I bought 4 Stephen King books for my granddaughter today at a library book sale, 50 cents each.
Bargain.
Wow, I'd love to go to a library book sale. That'd be great. And Jake, they changed some stuff, but the Long Walk movie is still good. All right, glad to hear. And Steve, check your shelves, check your Steve. Anything can be a toy if you try hard enough. That is true.
Very true.
That is very true. Yeah, well, that's cool to hear about the Repairman Jack series. I have to. I've been meaning to read The Keep, and I've never seen the movie either. I know the movie has its fans too. So
yeah, that's a B movie. It's kind of like it's. I didn't love it, and I like B movies, but I love the book so much. Actually, I have the book sitting here too. But that's probably my next favorite after Christine of all time. And I even have the board game of The Keep.
There's a board game? Wow.
Yeah, this came out in, I don't know when this was. This is old though. But this is like an old Mayfair game from back in the olden days.
I bet that's hard to find. Good.
Oh God, yes. It came out in '83, so the game's from '83.
Wow.
So
that's so cool.
Very cool. All right, David, you are up, sir. Thank you for showing that off, Paul. Good choices. Let's get.
Sorry.
You guys.
Stephen King's got to make an appearance. It just he has to, right?
Yeah, you guys are showing.
Got to get out of the way early.
So you guys are showing like one thing, and I have my next thing is this. So I met
That's
you,
all right.
I met you because of the DAW thread. So, and this is horror. So I briefly mentioned the horror books. I have 2 Yellow Spine DAW horror books, and they're these. And
Year's Best Horror Story. Yes, yeah,
5
those are
and
great.
7, or is that 8? 5 and 8. And I wish I had more. This one is what they call.
I have 7. That's it. Yeah.
Spine, because it's not really yellow, but I'm glad to have it. And then later, they put out so many. What do you call it? Like short story collections. And so this is still in.
These are the post Yellow Spine DAWs. Yeah, I don't know those so well. Nice. They kept doing the Year's Best Horror.
Yeah, these are still in the series, and I think they have really cool covers. And
they seem to like that balding guy with the spectacles.
Yeah, these are just like random. They have some really crazy Deal with the Devil.
Oh, I bet Paul has that Werewolves, or he wants it. One of the two.
Shutters.
Also, Shutters, nice. Hunger for Horror. So it's all about food horror stories.
Yeah.
Some eyeball burgers. Yeah, that's the same one. Did you see it, David? He has the werewolves too.
Oh yeah, I mean these collections are so much fun.
That's a cool cover too.
Yeah, they have so many and all these different. I just grabbed the horror related ones. There are so many others. Oh,
I probably would if I saw any of those in the store. I probably didn't realize they were DAWs because their livery changed so much.
Yeah, and they actually have. I have a couple Christmas horror ones that I should have grabbed and I didn't. But anyways, there you go. DAW horror.
So have you dove into any of those? Have you pulled out and read any of the stories?
Maybe it's time. I have so many Penguin horror books that I'm in the middle of. Every Halloween, I take them down and I read a couple stories. So, but maybe it's time to dive into these.
Which ones? Which of the Penguins are you reading now? The collections.
Well, I have to pull them out, but one of the ones that I finished, there's a two book set of, oh god, I can't remember his name. Such a great writer. One of the stories, maybe you'll know. I'm so bad with names. There's a story of this spider that is coming into. There's this room of the house where someone keeps getting attacked, and it turns out there's this like giant spider that keeps coming in through the window. I mean, that story was creepy. I loved it.
That sounds pretty creepy.
Yeah, that was the best story in that collection. But I really did like all of the stories, and I'm just really bad with names. That's why I have to have the book right in front of me. Sorry.
We got some comments, and I think Connor has to go. So let's, if you don't mind, I'll just run through those real quick. So Erico wants the board game The Keep. Me too. I probably don't even know how to play it, but and here's Richard from Vintage SF. Hello, hey, Richard. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Richard.
Great channel. And we have Heather here. I loved It, Pet Sematary, Christine, The Long Walk, although I think Stephen King books are better than the movies. Yes. And Cujo was pretty dramatic as well. Yeah, I just couldn't see myself reading a whole 600 or 500 or whatever Cujo is, a page novel for the
Cujo
just a rabid dog.
What are you talking about? It's a great book.
It's just, well, I'm sure it's great, but it's just a dog. It's not like a werewolf or a
but that's the whole
Pennywise
thing.
or something.
He takes something
Jeff.
and makes it horrible.
Jeff, just so you know, Heather, that's my wife Heather.
Oh, okay. Hi, Heather. My wife might jump in too. She threatened to jump in and say, "Geeks, losers." But anyway, Chris from Liminal Spaces is here. Werewolves. Yeah, that book cover looks fantastic for sure. And Connor's got to go. Connor, thanks for jumping in. Thanks, come back Connor. To watch the rest. Cheers, Connor. Appreciate it. And then Erico, Michael Reeves, The Tearing of Greymore House and House Shutters is scary. Highly recommended. House Shutters, is that one of the ones you showed? House Shutters?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I'll read that one.
Yeah. No, those look great. I love collections. Heather, you forgot to talk about The Fox and the Hound. Yeah. Chris is saying Cujo is the first adult book I ever read. It's great. Yeah, I'm sure it's great. I don't know. I know the ending of the book is quite a bit different from the movie, and it's one that I would not be happy to read, I think. Saying Cujo is just a dog is like saying the Sears Tower is just a building. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll bow to your guys' infinite wisdom. I'm too hard on Cujo, I guess. But I just think it's just a rabid Saint Bernard. Smash it in the head and get out of there. But I'm sure King makes it believable.
Child in the blaring heat.
Yeah.
Wait, Cujo is not just a rabid Saint Bernard. He has been infected with the soul of a dead serial killer.
You're joking, right?
No.
He's been infected with the soul of a dead serial killer? I don't think so. I don't remember that in the story, Paul. I think you're pulling my leg.
They insinuate that he's been infected with, not from the movie. You have to read the book.
In the book, they actually insinuate that? It's like Chucky with Chucky, but it's Cujo Chucky, huh? So Kujucky. Yes, okay. All right. Well, anything else you want to talk about with those books there, David? Any particular one you want to check out the first?
No.
I know.
I won't ever read any of them.
Just the covers. So Heather says that's what's scary about Cujo. It's about a dog who gets bit by a bat and contracts rabies and traps a mom and her kid in a car. It can totally happen. That's what's scary. Yeah, it's definitely a possible scenario. Maybe that's why I was less interested in it. It's like, but I'm sure it's very well done. That's back when King was in his prime, really.
Yeah, they changed the ending.
Or the girl from it's like saying, yeah, Steve is saying, it's like the girl from The Exorcist is just a troubled teen. Yeah,
I brained teenagers. Pretty on point.
Yeah. Cross, man.
Yeah, you got a point. Okay, all right. Well, let me get the myself. I guess it's my turn, right? My turn. So let me get this on the screen here and move myself over. There we go. Okay, So I'm going to do a movie next. We'll hop around a little bit since you guys are. I don't know if you've heard of this one. Good old Kino Lorber released. I was really excited when this came out. It was a double feature. These are two TV movies, early TV movies, pre Kolchak the Night Stalker, starring Louis Jourdan as an occult. He's actually a psychiatrist, but he's also an expert in the occult. Fear No Evil and its sequel, Ritual of Evil. They were made for TV, and they're both great. They're really well filmed. The first one has the lovely Susan Susan Day George. She married Christopher George from Grizzly and Day of the Animals. And the other one here is Diana Hyland, who is the mom in the first mom in 8 is Enough until she contracted breast cancer, unfortunately, and had to be recast, I think, or she passed away and they didn't recast her. I forgot how that worked with 8 is Enough. But both, so the first one is particularly great. And very spooky. And believe it or not, I think Carol O'Connor, he plays a bad guy in it. And he's also one of the co-producers, the Archie Bunker guy. He was quite an intelligent man in real life, of course. And Louis Jourdan is tasked with trying to help this young woman whose husband died in a car accident. And she got this mirror in her room and she's living with her mother-in-law who hates her and blames her for her son's death. And her husband's spirit seems to be summoning her from the mirror, and Louis Jourdan has to do something about it. And the second one is about kind of a coven, and they're both very cool. And Kino Lorber released this, remastered these because they were both, of course, filmed on 1969 and 1970 each movie. Some great fashions, great actors, pretty creepy, and they're both kind of feature length. I think they're each 98 minutes, so they're full movie length, and they're pretty dang cool. The first one's better, but the second one's very good too. And a little mystery elements, but mostly just spooky stuff. And there's a commentary track on here by Gary Girani, who does really excellent commentaries. He does one at least on the Kolchak the Night Stalker TV series set. So I recommend this. It's maybe not so well known, but I had read about this for years in various books because 70s and the late 60s. This almost predates the real peak of the ABC TV movie of the week with all their creepy movies like Where Have All the People Gone, and what's some of the other great ones? There's Spectre that I think Steven Spielberg did with Robert Culp and Gig Young as occult investigators, and there's they did quite a few. The Devil's Triangle with Doug McClure. Anyway, very cool. I recommend this, and they can usually find them pretty cheap on sale. I want a Kino Lorber sales if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
like
cool.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, let's catch up with
eBay right now.
Okay, where are we at here? We got some comments. Steve from Check Your Shelf. That said, I wouldn't read 600 pages of it either. I'll wait for the movie to come out. Yeah. King can be a bit long-winded. Richard at Vintage SF. I think possible situations are more scary than fantastic scenarios. That's for sure. But they're a little less fun, I think, too. So I kind of like the fantastical part. But they're definitely scarier. There's no doubt. And your wife, Heather Paul, says, "Oh, The Exorcist is too scary for me. I won't watch that." Lol. I remember watching that, Heather, and it made the skin on the back of my neck crawl. Not many movies have done that.
That's my one. That's my movie. Nope. My Nope movie.
Oh, Nope. You're not going to do it?
That's the only movie. That's the only one. That's my only Nope movie, Exorcist.
Centipede.
Why is that?
Watch that.
I just hated it so much. I hated everything about it. I remember I grew up in an extreme right-wing Christian household where that stuff was threatened on me constantly.
Right.
And and I was to the point where I was, had holy water thrown on me when I walked in the door because I may have been possessed, and had rose petals put under my bed to prevent Satan from taking me while I slept. So that stuff was a real fear for me, so.
Wow.
It's been instilled in you. Well, my parents wouldn't have let me watch it either when I was younger. So I think I didn't see it until I was in college. And I remember watching it on a dark night alone in my dorm room on a little TV, and it creeped me out. So there's not too many that do. Nowadays, I like the more quiet horror stuff. Like I'm going to show one later, a British ghost story one that is spooky if you're into that kind of thing. Okay, let's see. Before we get to Paul, let's see if there's anyone else who's got something going on in the chat. Oh, we got. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, Okay, we got a couple more here after Heather. Richard of Vintage SF, 127 Hours is a tremendously scary movie. That is true. Yeah, being stuck with your hand in the, having to cut your hand off with the pocket knife is not a nice story at all, for sure. Chadwick, looks like the costume contest is starting here at Son of Monster Palooza. Time to log off and watch the rest later. Thanks for all the fun. Happy birthday and happy Halloween. Thanks, Chadwick. Appreciate you checking it out very much. Thank you very much. We'll have a good time at the Son of Monster Palooza. And one of David's pals, Sleepy Reader, is here. Howdy, how? Hey, Sleepy, how you doing? I believe your name's Damien. Is that right? Is it Damien?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sleepy has a really cool channel. Paul, if you like comic stuff, Sleepy shows off books and comic stuff. I think quite a few books, too, on some of your conversations you've had with him, right, David? He's quite a book collector, too.
Yeah, he loves sci-fi.
And Steve says, yes, same as Paul. I think the demonic stuff was bad for me growing up because of the evangelical upbringing. Yeah, my mom was the Jehovah's Witness, so that stuff was no. I kept being dragged to the church there, the Kingdom Hall, and like all the stuff they don't want me to watch is all the cool stuff. So I didn't quite buy into it fully, but they were really good for my mom, and nice people. So, okay. Monsieur Poole, you are up. Let me get you on the biggie screen there.
I want to get some opinions on some older, lesser-known movies. And you guys can tell me what you think. All right.
Okay. You're talking my bailiwick now. Here we go.
Trick or Treat?
That's not that old.
With Ozzy.
There.
Is that real?
I haven't seen it. I've heard lots of fun. A lot of people like it.
And it's got a fantastic soundtrack. It's done by Fastway. It's absolutely amazing. Great movie, I think.
We got Pumpkinhead Kid, or is it a totally different movie?
No, that's the newer Trick or Treat, the kind of portmanteau mini stories, and that one's pretty nasty. Yeah, that's a good one too. But
this is the one about
the rock one.
Yeah, it's a rock star who took over this kid, and it's just pretty cool.
Like a Satan worshipping rock star or something like that.
Yeah,
demonic rock star.
Wes Craven's Shocker.
I
saw that at the theater. It's pretty.
I haven't seen that one. Sorry, fun. David. It's fun. It's like some of Wes Craven stuff. I remember watching Deadly Friend, and the basketball scene still sticks with me. And of course his Nightmare on Elm Street movies. But
the ever classic and loved and hated Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I haven't seen that one.
Me either. I've heard it's one of those so bad it's good. Is it actually good?
It's so much fun. And I don't like clowns. Okay. It's so much fun. And Slither.
Now Slither is great. I have Slither. I have the Blu-ray of Slither, I think. So maybe
those
just the DVD.
Those kind of get forgotten about sometimes, and I wanted to get some opinions from some people on what they think about those old school.
Well, let's hear from the chat thinks. But yeah, I think Slither. I mean, these aren't. I think Slither is early 2000s, right? That's got Nathan Fillion from Firefly. That's really cool.
Yeah, still over 20 years old.
Yeah, that's true. We got to adjust your perspective of what is new and old. I guess I remember talking to someone about what was it? It was like Buffy and Angel and Seinfeld, and then someone reminded me that they were over 20 years old in the X-Files. I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah, because we're arguing what's classic or not classic, right? So I keep bumping this thing. Sorry. Anyway, I've watched Slither several times. I like it a lot. It's very gross and goopy. I haven't seen the others, though.
But I suggest, with Ozzy just passing and Gene Simmons getting himself in a horrible car wreck this week, about Halloween, that you check out Trick or Treat.
Is Gene Simmons okay?
He sounds like he's going to live, but I guess he's in the hospital. He hit a parked car. It doesn't surprise me.
Wow.
He's kind of seemed to slow down quite a bit because he is older. I saw him speaking very emotionally about Ozzy and also about his mother. I saw a video on YouTube about him talking about his mother. When his mother passed, he was very emotional, talking about her impact on him and stuff.
Yeah, he was extremely close with his mom.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you think he'd be a big scary guy, but he's just a big sweetheart teddy bear sort of guy, really.
As soon as you come out in footy pajamas, he loses all that big scariness.
I guess so. I just used to him playing. I grew up with him playing bad guys in. Speaking of fun B movies, Wanted Dead or Alive with Rutger Hauer, which has the classic ending with the grenade in the mouth, and he goes, "Oh fuck it," and pulls the pin, and then him playing the bad guy in Runaway, the Tom Selleck movie about the killer robots. That was.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one, David?
No.
Runaway.
No.
That's a lot of fun, actually.
The best part, the robots.
Yeah, and the bullets that go around corners.
Which actually got turned into a very good comic book idea they used, and then turned into a movie called Wanted.
The old. Yeah, I remember. I saw that. Yeah. That had like Joseph Gordon-Levitt or something in it, wasn't it?
No,
it was some young actor was in that.
The guy who plays Professor X in the new movies.
It was James McAvoy. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's a good movie, actually. I like that movie.
And Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, that's based on a comic.
Yeah,
that's
actually based on a comic book. That's really good.
And your wife Heather says, "Oh, I didn't hear about that." Gene Simmons. Oh, yeah, me either. Yeah. And Erico remembers Runaway. Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. Tom Selleck movies never got much love, but I thought some of them were pretty good.
If you want to see Runaway, you can watch it on Plex for free right now.
I don't think I can get Plex in Japan, but I would like to see it again. But that's good advice for anyone watching, for sure. Okay, good. Thank you, Paul. And those are a cool batch of recent classic horror movies, I guess. Yeah. And how about you, David? What you got going on there?
So I'm going to go with some classic and modern horror magazines. So
cool.
Yeah, we have. I recently bought these, so I haven't read them yet. But I just
love sweet, eerie.
Art. Look at this, troll coming over the rampart.
What the hell? And some guy, whipping him up, riding him like a chariot or something. Wow.
It's bonkers. I mean, look how cool that is. And then here's an.
I remember Eerie well.
I mean,
that's a great cover too.
They've got someone there that they're like ripping apart, and they're like, "You're next."
Rules.
This one looks really cool. So this is the Doll Collector. So this is about.
Is that an Eerie as well?
Yeah, Eerie.
Yeah.
Like like serial killer type thing. And I mean, there was that movie called The Collector.
Yes. Very disturbing movie, actually, with Terrence Stamp, right? Yeah.
Wild to figure out what was going on, but it looks like
falling into a hell pit or something.
No, it looks like this is the part of the temple, like below ground.
Oh.
And they were like elevated, and he fell through or fell off a cliff. But it's just like, but it's really cool. The perspective, the art, pretty neat. I've shown this one before. This is a creepy where like two demons are like fighting while there's like an aerial battle going on.
Yeah,
it's like
Red Baron or something. Wow, that is very cool.
It's just so crazy bonkers. Like, what's going on here?
Gotta love the creepies and Eries. Did you get a few omnibuses of these or something too?
That was going to be my next round.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I don't want to preempt you.
No
wow,
problem.
That's cool.
I mean, look at just the art on these things. They're just stunning. And the interior art is great too. And I also recently bought some Vampirellas. I mean, look at that.
Well, they're taking a chunk out of her. Look at that. He's just biting into her already too.
You got
Yikes.
It's just so awesome. So along with the classics, there's a lot of companies putting out modern horror magazines. And one of them is this Shutter, and this is put out by Warrant, right? And so it's like
Warren,
right? And they use a lot of the classic art from the older magazines, and they're fun. They're just a lot of them. They're like 3 or 4 pages, and they end up with like a silly joke at the end. But it still harkens back to the classic art. Like this is
Those covers are awesome.
Yeah, these are available. Like they're on sale now. Like you can get this collection. And this is a new one that just started called Eerie. Right? They're
Eerie,
always
the other kind of Eerie.
Yeah. And this, I think it's only on issue 3, so you can still grab these if you want to. So those are like the modern horror magazines.
Speaking of reissues, you were asking me about who puts out the pulp reissues. Paul's the guy to ask about that because Paul collects a lot of
There's
the
a bunch of
reissued pulps.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different companies that do. There's radio pulp archives that you can buy them online for e-reader versions, and there's a few different ones. So it depends which ones you want.
I need a list because I found a company yesterday and they're reprinting paperbacks and they just started. And even though the paperbacks are kind of expensive, they're like $16 to $18 each. They've only put out like 6 so far, and they look amazing. And they're like horror books. I could tell you the company if you want. I could just show it to you. I have it on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Here,
you want to know about that.
Let me change it over again. So just real quick, I wanted to say Heather says she used to be a big Kess fan until she watched Family Jewels and saw Gene come out in his footy pajamas. What, doesn't that make him cuter? I don't know. But anyway, and Eriko is commenting on Shudder, brr, scary. And Sleepy says the fake Warren.
Yeah.
Not the real Warren, because the Warren, I think Warren was the original one, right? That put it out. Creepy.
This is called Fathom Press.
Oh, Fathom.
So you've heard of them.
Nick at the Book Graveyard just did an interview with the guy who runs that. You should check that out.
That's how I found out about it. So yeah, this is old news. I don't need to show you. I'm
no.
buying everything.
No, that's all right. No, I haven't got any of these Fathom Press. Paul probably has, but no, Nick at the Book Graveyard just put out interview he did with Justin. I don't know. I forgot his last name. The guy who started that label, putting out these older ones, and they talked about a bunch of their upcoming books. I'll send you the link to that later. It's a very cool interview.
But this is the time to get in on it because they just put out 6, and that's it, and they're all available. And so they're getting ready to put out another batch, I think, next month. And they're just they're classic, mass market paperbacks. And
yeah,
I mean, the downside is they are quite expensive for a mass market paperback, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think, because what he was talking about, he has to pursue the rights and he's making sure the state, or if the author's still alive, gets their share of it. So, but he's commissioned all these the same artist doing all these really cool covers. So they did, like, I think it was Bad Ronald. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. It was Bad Ronald. They did Riptide, the shark cops versus Killer Shark and Hurricane one, and something Cold Front. Cold Front is some kind of a Wendigo or
I read Cold Front.
Yeah, did you like it? I'm thinking of buying that one. Sounds cool.
Well, no, I actually had a conversation with Nick about that one. I like the monster in it. I hated the characters in it. So it's worth a read just to read it because of its history. And like I said, the monsters are fun, and that's why you're there anyway. But I didn't like the human characters. So, but
well, that often happens in horror novels, I guess. Although the one I'm really excited about, they're coming out with called The Snowman, which is like a men's adventure versus killer abominable snowman or Yeti. That sounds great.
Yeah, I think.
But they're putting, like you say, David, they're putting all these mass market paperback from hell type ones that are really hard to find in the collector's market. So they're doing them again, or ones that have fallen through the cracks.
Yeah, Fathom does it, and Valancourt Press does it.
I'm gonna look up Valancourt Press too.
Yeah, Valancourt is the one that David does you didn't like the cover, but they did the John the Balladeer collection, and it's pretty affordable.
No, that cover's horrible.
But
the rest
but I don't like that cover. It's just awful.
The rest of them aren't so bad though. The horror ones look good.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's a bit. I don't mind it, but it's not ideal. But that's the problem with Wellman's work, is none of them ever really get very cool covers, other than the Lee Brown Coy Worst Things Waiting. But I think Paul, you got that John the Balladeer Valancourt not so long ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like a nicely put together volume, though. Even though you weren't that taken with, of course, it could be the reader. The Old Gods Waken, was the reader not so good, David, on that audiobook?
No, it was me. No, his name was Stefan Rudnicki, I think, and he did the Ender series. I really like him as a reader.
Okay.
It absolutely wasn't the reader.
Okay. I was wondering if he messed up because you were thinking those British guys were hillbillies, and maybe he was giving them a hillbilly accent that he shouldn't have. So,
No.
the Brit Billies. The Brit Billies. Okay. All right. Is it my turn? I forgot whose turn it is. What's going on? Is it
your
me?
turn.
Or you finished, David? Did you have?
I did. I finished.
Those are so cool. You're going to show the omnibus of those older, creepy, and eerie later, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I want to see those. That's those seem more, even though they're more expensive, they seem like they're more bang for the buck. So,
Absolutely.
okay, go back to a book. Now, I did a Kolchak video. I think that's got you watching the show, David. I did one on the Night Stalker Companion. And I could have sworn, because again, Nick at the Book Graveyard and Levi Wallace talked about the book, the Jeff Rice, the Night Stalker, and I could have sworn I had those books. And then I was digging through for this video to get some stuff, and I was digging through behind some other, because I need more shelves. I have books behind books. Anyway, I found that Moonstone, who puts some of the comic Kolchak adaptations and newer short story ones, had published both the novels, The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler, Jeff Rice's novels, in this edition, and I did pick it up years ago. So it's not as cool as the old classic paperback versions that Nick has and maybe Levi has, but it does have both of them with a cool introduction by Mark Dawidziak, the guy who wrote the Kolchak, the Night Stalker Companion. And from what those guys were saying, I haven't read the books, but the book quite a bit. The book Kolchak is a little more slovenly, a little more of sad sack, I guess, than even the Kolchak in the TV series is. But look cool. I'm gonna now that I realize I have these again, I'm gonna try to get to these at some point. So, Moonstone Press. I have another collection up here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. This is some newer stories that they put out. The Night Stalker case book, and again, they're cool. You know, I'm a little iffy on stuff that's not canonical, I guess, but a lot of people want to keep writing stories of the same character, and we all want more Karl Kolchak. So Dawidziak himself wrote a novel, Grave Secrets, with Kolchak in Hollywood, which would be cool. I need to get a hold of that. But this has some pretty cool authors in here. That it's got P.N. Elrod. I think Paul will recognize him anyway, and I think he's a fantasy writer mostly. I don't know. And who else? John Ostrander and James Reasoner. James Reasoner runs a cool blog, and he's written a lot of cool stuff. Robert Randizzi and Christopher Golden, who I think worked with Mike Mignola on some stuff. So anyway, Moonstone does some cool stuff. I don't have any of the comics, of course, that they put out, but I was happy to get the first two novels that the show was based on.
Christopher Golden actually did a pretty cool vampire series back in the day. Can't remember the name of it. I remember reading it, but
that does sound familiar. Heather says, "What do you guys think of American Werewolf in London?" I'm a big fan of American Werewolf in London. I didn't care for American Werewolf in Paris much, but what do you guys think of American Werewolf in London?
I really loved it.
Yeah, she knows that's one of my favorite one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and my favorite werewolf movie. She would know that, but yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Well, the only thing I don't like about it is they kill him without a silver bullet. They just kill him with the regular bullets, which seems kind of strange. But anyway, I thought that. Otherwise, I think that's a fantastic movie. Yeah, I like that movie. It's sad, but like a lot of werewolf movies, the hero is sympathetic. So
you read the original Dracula, right?
I haven't. No, that's one of the things I've been talking about, commenting on Tim reading it. I bought this cool fingerprint edition somewhere that I'm going to try to get to.
He didn't die with a saber or a stake or any of that. He died pretty mundanely. That's
true. I have I have seen a very good and loyal adaptation the BBC did in 1979 with Louis Jourdan. Again, Louis Jourdan playing the Count very well. And I do remember it was not, as grandiose as Christopher Lee usually gets it when he falls off a cliff onto and impales himself on a cross in a graveyard, or some of the cracks through the ice and falls into the river because they're not supposed to be able to cross streams or whatever. So
Yeah, to
the
add
legend
insult,
I always like that no one's used because it's too boring, but apparently there's some, is it poppy seeds or something, that if you put a bunch of these kind of seeds down, the vampire in the mythology is supposed to have to stop and pick up every one before it can continue on. And I would like to see that in a movie. Someone dropping a bunch of seeds and the vampire's like, damn it, quit dropping those seeds.
it sounds like Dracula doesn't let him. Yeah, and to add insult to injury, Dracula was killed by a American cowboy.
Yeah, but that's right. Yeah, one of the suitors for Mina Harker, right, or whatever, wasn't it? Yeah, or maybe Lucy. I forgot. Lucy.
You ain't got a chance at either of them.
Yeah, but he sounds like he was a stud anyway. Sorry about that. Little frog in my throat. Must be incipient old age. Okay, let's get you up there, Paul, for the next one.
All right, well, what's horror without the grandfather of horror, H.P. Lovecraft, right?
Right.
How about board game based on H.P. Lovecraft lore? Elder Sign.
Pretty cool. A game of
Elder
this
Sign.
has-
That means they're leaving like a spore or something. Giant
Yeah.
Cthulhu.
There's like dozens of expansions for this thing. And what's cool is you can play solo or play co-op, and you're actually facing off against all of H.P. Lovecraft's monsters. And you play as detective. You go through the madness. You're going through all of the things from his stories in the game, and it's actually really cool because you can, like I said, you can play this with your friends co-op, or you can just play it by yourself and and go through the stories. And there's all kinds of expansions to go through different stories in H.P. Lovecraft mythos with the occult detective. So being occult detective October, on top of that, you play occult detectives in there.
That's phenomenal.
So I get to
That
cover
is very
all
cool.
the.
But I imagine you're fated to a fate worse than death with a Lovecraft background there. It's probably eaten by some elder god or something.
Yeah, they all the elder gods eventually are in between the expansions and the original appear in here, as well as all his different monsters and all the detectives. West is in here and everything else. So it's very cool.
That is cool. Okay, we got a couple of comments. I think, let's see. We got, I'm not quite sure what Steve is referring to. His hair was perfect. Were we talking about someone's hair?
I think there
must be David's hair.
Dracula? No. Someone in
Dracula?
Or
Dracula.
Or yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah,
Probably not the guy that's in American Werewolf in London, but
Well, his hair was perfect. Maybe he's referring to him.
he might. Yeah, he had great hair. Heather says she loved the CG during the change. Yeah, the CG is it. Rob Bottin did that, right? I believe. No. Sorry, Bottin did the Howling, and who did the? It was the other great guy. Dang it, can't think of his name right now. Stan Winston, was that it?
I can't remember. I thought it wasn't Savini, was it?
No. Savini did Maniac and stuff. No, I think it was Stan Winston that did the effects. It's one of those big effects guys, and they're great. It was those two horror movies battling it out, The Howling and American Werewolf in London. They both had great transformation scenes. Yeah, no, that's with Blue Moon playing. That's fantastic. And then
there's never been a better transformation scene than that.
Ginger Snaps. I like Ginger Snaps. Okay, yeah. The teenage girl werewolf movie, that was pretty cool.
That one?
Yeah, Ginger Snaps. I'm with you. I like werewolf movies, so I'll watch. There's one called Late Phases. Have you seen that, Paul? That's a pretty good low budget one. Late Phases. I would check that out. It's pretty good. Steve said, I thought you weren't supposed to play by yourself, meaning the Lovecraft game, or the demons will possess you.
It's a risk you got to take. It's a great
What
game.
was that, David?
You get hairy palms.
You get hairy palms, yeah. The That's right. Well,
It's a dice placement game where you collect clues to try and track down the monster and defeat it and kind of thing before you go mad. It's a lot of fun.
They just tell you go mad. You don't really go mad, right?
I don't know.
Tell you you're going mad. If you play it by yourself, you go mad, right? Yeah. How many RPG games do you have, Paul? Do you think
RPG games?
Isn't that a role-playing game?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even count. If you count my solo games and the stuff, I wouldn't even know where to start. I have shelves and bins full of them. I have. I actually should have pulled it out. I have a solo RPG game where you go to Japan as an investigator and you go to haunted spots and you got to figure out the haunting and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I get the reference now. Check your. Steve says it's from Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London. He said, "Sorry,
nice.
obscure joke." I'd like to know is Taylor. And we got Erico, The Undying Monster, 1942 is good too. Great spooky atmosphere. Yeah, I love the old Universal horror movies and the like there. And Chris at Liminal Spaces, check your Steve. I was with you. He got the Warren Zevon reference. We were too slow on the uptake there, I guess. But
actually,
very cool. Yes. Here, let me get you on the big one again. Hold on.
It's called The Unseen World. It's a role-playing game where you go to Japan. You give up your life and become an investigator, an occult investigator, and you go through and try and figure out all these haunted mysteries in different little towns in Japan.
Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a solo RPG.
Whole new world to me after watching Scott on the Wild Digest and his various RPG books that he's writing and some of you other guys talking about these games and things. David probably knows more about that than I do for sure. But
I've never even played one of them, but I've always wanted to. I just don't have anyone to play with. So, I mean,
but that's the thing. There are hundreds of these solo ones and journaling ones where you could just go through and journal your RPG, where you play by yourself. So I mean,
try one then. You're gonna recommend one for me, and then I'm gonna.
Well, I think that The Unseen World is a recommendation, right? Because David was in Japan for 3 years, so
yeah, this might be a good one then. All right. Unseen World by Thomas P. King.
Yeah.
You go to, if you can't find it on Amazon, sometimes they sell them there. Go to itch.io, itch.io.
Itch.io. Yeah, your wife is agreeing that you have tons and tons of RPG. LOL. Yeah. She sounds like a very tolerant spouse. So is mine, and I'm assuming because David's likes his own geeky collection that he's fairly tolerant to. Although he sometimes gets after David for ordering too much, right, David?
No, he's not. He's bad. What was it called? The Fallen World?
The Unseen World.
The Unseen World by Thomas P. King.
I can't even remember something from 1 minute to the next.
Make a note, David. Make a note.
I'm looking it up.
You'll probably get it from his website too, www.thomaspking.com.
Yeah, he might even sign it for you.
He has his own website with his name, Thomas P. King. You can probably get it there too.
Here's a good question from Erico, Paul. You might know this one. Are there any Lovecraftian books like the old Choose Your Own Adventure books? There must be something like that.
I'm sure there is. I mean, I have a bunch of those Choose Your Own. Well, they're not Choose Your Own Adventure anymore. They've gotten way more complicated, extreme, where you could. But I'm sure there is, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But there is.
I can't think that there's not. I mean, if they're doing them for Indiana Jones, they got to be doing it for Lovecraft.
Yeah, there's role-playing game books for pretty much any subject you could possibly imagine, from like Ninja Master through to to playing as a rock band. You could probably find it. I'm sure there's got to be Lovecraftian ones. I'm positive. I couldn't think of one off the top of my head.
I remember those books, the earlier ones when they were first coming out, and I always wound up with making the decision that ended in me biting it. But anyway, What's everyone's favorite horror movie or book? Heather asks. We'll start with you, Paul, since you're up. What's your there on the big screen? What's your? She knows your favorite, but you should say anyway.
Mine. Yeah, it's overall it'd be The Thing and Christine are my favorites. I have The Keep, American Wolf in London. I have others, but she knows all mine, so she's probably asking you guys.
Well, David, what's your favorite all-time horror movie you've had to choose, or what's your favorite at the moment?
Man, that's a hard question.
She's looking for a new horror movie or book. Could be a book too. So I know you read a lot of all kinds of genres, including Booker Prize lists, finalists, and Paul also reads all kinds of different genres. So
read anything but romance.
And romantasy, right? So David, what do you think, David? What's your recommendation?
What was that Nicole Kidman movie? I love that one. That The Others.
Dead Calm?
Oh, The Others.
Don't say what it's about. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it.
Is it Dead Calm? Is that the one when she's young, or is it a different one?
No, The Others.
The Others.
Oh, The Others. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Not my favorite, but it comes with.
Yeah, I remember Heather's probably seen it, but if not, Heather, The Others is good. I'm trying to think of something. Heather, I got one. It's not my favorite, but it's really good, and you might not have seen it. I'm going to show it to you when I come up next. But some of the ones, have you seen Suspiria, Heather? Suspiria by, oh, dang it. I'm pulling a brain fart. Dario Argento. Yeah, it's got a great Goblin soundtrack. Has she seen that one, Paul, do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so Suspiria is good. It doesn't make a lot of logical sense. He does good with like dream logic, but it's pretty creepy and it's got a fantastic soundtrack. What's that, David?
You can't recommend that to someone who wants to know what a good horror movie is. That one's out there. Isn't that like all weird?
That one's pretty cool. I've shown it to some people who like horror movies and they really liked it. So I guess it's, I wouldn't say it's the best by any stretch. Probably The Thing for me, The Thing, and some ghost story movies like The Haunting, the original, not the crappy remake, but the original Haunting, which is based off of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, and The Innocents, which is based off of Henry James' Turn of the Screw. Deborah Carr's in that, and The Innocents. That's a terrific movie. One of my
favorite horror movies of all time, and I can't find it because it's a Korean movie and they don't sell it over here, and I'm dying to find it because I have seen it. It's called White.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
It's The Melody of Death or something like that. I love that movie. They don't sell it anywhere in America, and I can't find it. And every once in a while, it pops up on a streaming service for like a month, and I'll have to watch it. It's literally about a Korean pop girl band who keeps entering these contests, and they go to the studio that's haunted, and there's a song that infects them, and and turns them starts turning them evil, and it's just so cool.
Evil Dead is awesome. You remind me.
Yeah, so Chris at Liminal Spaces likes The Others, and he also recommends his favorite Korean horror film, A Tale of Two Sisters. I'm not familiar with that one. I lived in Korea for a year and a half, but I didn't catch all the movies there. I've seen the is it The Host, the monster movie one? That was pretty good. My recommendation for Japanese horror, for J-horror, is the Ringu is good, but no, Ju-on, The Grudge. That's creepy as hell. Even though American remake was pretty good, but I was not, before my wife, I was dating another Japanese girl and showed her that. I don't want to say that too loud, but anyway, it made the girl cry. That's how scared she was. So it was. I had nightmares for 3 days, and I never have nightmares over horror movies. So,
yeah. I think that Korea and Japan are the masters of horror. They make the best horror books and movies. Bar none. I mean, America doesn't make good ones anymore.
Not so much. No. Is our comment still up there? I thought I got rid of it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Heather. I haven't read Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. I know, bad booktuber. I should read it. I've read The Lottery in high school or whatever. But the movie The Haunting I've seen a couple times, and it's very good. It's quiet horror, but it's creepy. So if you're more a gory gorehound sort of person, you're not going to enjoy it maybe. But if you like the kind of quiet, creeping dread, it's good that way for sure. Okay, I think let's have David up. Let me get the screen changed.
My turn?
I believe it's your turn because Paul just showed the RPG games, right?
Oh,
That
yeah.
Japanese one, searching the haunted places, sounds really cool. They really, it's funny in Japan, it's opposite of the States. In America, people do believe in ghosts, but the highest percentage believe in UFOs, I think. But in Japan, it's switched around. I'd guess a good 75% of, going by anecdotal experience anyway, believe in ghosts, but very few believe in UFOs, I think. So, but it is an old country, so so go ahead, David. Sorry.
No problem.
What you got up?
So last round I was talking about older magazines, and then you mentioned that they are being put out in collected editions. There's two ways that you could collect them. There are hardback editions, which I'm trying to get, but there's a couple of disadvantages. One, they're out of print.
Whoa.
And so normally they
expensive.
will put, yeah, they become expensive.
That's beautiful though. Wow.
Yeah, and because these ones are they're black and white, although the covers are in full color. So I'll show you that. But
the covers of each issue. How many issues in a book?
About 5. Yeah, this one has 5. And it doesn't sound like much, but look, I mean, it is a pretty nice,
pretty
volume.
Thick.
So you can.
They're out of print, you say?
What?
They're out of print?
Yeah, they're
the
out
hardbacks.
Of so you have to, really, hunt them down. And there's.
Do they make a paperback version at all? Do you know?
Yeah, I was coming to that. So the other way that you can collect them is you can get them in the soft cover. And the one advantage is that the hardcovers, besides the price, right? They're, really cheap.
They're heavier too, right?
These hardcovers are really heavy. I'm actually afraid to keep them on my shelf because I'm afraid the whole shelf will crack. I mean, they're that heavy. But these books are pretty cheap. Like $25 is the cover price.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, I think.
Yeah, but you can get them much cheaper from when you order them and online. And I'm going to give you an example. So this, they also they're doing the EC.
Oh, nice.
Horror, and these are full color. And I love the size of these because they're magazine size. And of course, you get all the covers with these. I'm going to go ahead and show that. But what's cool is they will make a full page panel from something like that as like a kind of, I mean, how cool is that they blow up the art? And these things cost $20. That's the cover price. But if you order them online, you can usually get them for $12 to $15. That's a shockingly good price for something like this. So
yeah, no, that is. I am definitely going to look into those, man. Those
I mean, I got a whole bunch. I got a whole stack of them to show, but I don't need to show them. So I mean,
well, you got some of the. You did it. You read through. You looked through a couple of them on your channel. I think it was the weird science or weird.
Fiction. Yeah, I was doing a science fiction one, and like the shock suspense, and those are great. And you don't realize like the quality of art in these things. They're phenomenal. Even the story writing, I mean, they're fun, right? But these EC ones, these were kind of like the granddaddies of all these comics, right? And just, for me, I'm learning more and more about the older artists as I go through these. And I mean, that's not horror story.
That's fantastic.
Shock! Look at that!
Yeah,
I mean,
those are beautiful. I'm gonna have to get some of those, man.
Yeah,
I can usually order those here in Japan, but they're a little bit more priced up because they've been imported in.
Yeah, but these books are so cool. So then you also have the soft cover of the creepy and the Eerie. Here's an Eerie one. But I just really love the hardcovers. So I'm going back and forth. I'm like, do I want to get all the hardcovers when these things are so cheap and they're they're just not heavy. Like the other ones are so heavy. I know that because I bought a box of them and they came in the mail. And then when I was going to put them on my shelf, I was like,
You're like,
oh my God, shelf a break. Oh, here,
put your back out.
You guys might like that one. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. When you showed Vampirella before, I was envisioning Carolyn Monroe in the Vampirella bikini with the aborted movie that they didn't end up making. But we got some comments here. Keep showing those. I'm gonna pop them up on the screen.
There's nothing phallic about that at all.
Nothing at all. No. Let's see. I'm behind a little bit here. So Eriko mentions the Body Snatcher, which is a terrific Val Lewton film based on Robert Louis Stevenson's short story. Boris Karloff gives a super performance, and Bela Lugosi is in it with him too. Boris kills Bela in that one, if I recall. And Steve talks about Train to Busan is awesome.
That's a great
probably
movie.
My favorite zombie movie. Liminal Spaces, yes, The Grudge is the best. Yeah, Ju-on, The Grudge. Chris agrees with me there. And Heather, The Ring and The Grudge were good. So I guess she has seen The Grudge. Chris agrees with you about something, Paul. I don't know what it was, but
what do you agree with? Yeah, Chris.
You said something intelligent, so Chris agreed with it. Jake says, you guys watched The Ritual? Best horror movie in the last few years, I think. Is that the one? Is that the one with the? No, that's The Ruins. What's The Ritual?
I like The Ruins.
Neville's book.
Ramsey Campbell? No. Whose book?
Neville. Got his first name. He's him and Melfi are two of the more famous current writers. Neville and Melfi.
I guess I'm out of the loop. I've heard the title, but I don't. There might be an older movie called The Ritual, but I'm not familiar with this one. Jake, what's it about? Maybe you know about it, Paul.
My wife watched it. I haven't seen it, but I have the book. I think she read the book. Yeah, so she could tell you more than I could because she took my book and I didn't read it. She read it.
She typed it first. Yeah. And Chris says 85% of statistics are made up on the spot. Chris, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that's referring to. Did we mention something about statistics? I can't remember. Correct us if I set it straight there, Chris.
Like what?
Steve says I want to see Pulse, Japanese horror film. I've heard it's good. I haven't seen that one. My son says it's the best from the past few years, and I'm not about to argue with him. Okay. And Chris from Liminal Spaces is going, woo-hoo, woo, wow, those hardbacks are incredible. The hardbacks of, I guess, Eerie, Creepy, EC, all those awesome things you showed. Brittleby's here. Hey, Brittleby, slept past my notification, battling a stomach bug. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. I've seen some real horrors today. Yeah, I guess what we're showing is not nearly as scary as that. Steve said The Ritual is great too, so there's another plug for The Ritual. And Chris is giving his commiserations for Brittleby. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, me too. Eriko, hold on here. Oh, Eriko, I loved collecting Eerie in the 70s as a kid, along with famous monsters of Filmland. Yeah, such memories. I never got into those, but I saw them. What's that, Paul? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was agreeing with famous monsters of Filmland. I used to collect those when I was a kid. I loved them.
Yeah.
Brittleby saying they're releasing this. You might know about this, David. They're releasing artist-specific creepies next year. Pre-ordered my Corbin and Wrightson.
I pre-ordered my Wrightson. I didn't know about the Corbin, so I got to find that.
Yeah, Richard Corbin and Bernie Wrightson, two great artists. And Steve saying, "Wow, worth it just for the art alone." Those various magazines you showed. And here's Larry's Library, another buddy of David. And I've just been following Larry. He did a cool Dawes, show us your Dawes video. He has a really awesome comics channel. I wish I could have brought all the eerie and creepy hardcovers as they came out. Bought all the creepy and eerie hardcovers as they came out, but I just can't buy everything. Nope. I know how it is.
Everything. And then he shows boxes and boxes of stuff he bought. So he's lying.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. He showed, and he does best of by the year. Those are great too. Yeah, Chris, sorry. You're right. Yeah. I made up on the spot. You're right. You said probably 75% of Japanese people believe in ghosts. That's where, the statistics. Yeah. I was probably making that up on the spot. And as I did say anecdotally, but when I talk to my students, vast majority of them, even this day and age, believe in ghosts. And so I don't know the exact percentage, but I would just say anecdotally, it's the opposite of what it would be in America, where more people would believe in UFOs than ghosts, I think. And I believe it's opposite in Japan. That's, I guess, so I shouldn't be throwing out some statistics there. You're right to call me out on that. So did you get a chance to show all the cool things there? Those I want to get some of those mags, man.
Stacks and stacks. So I'm done.
Stacks and stacks.
I brought so much stuff. That's why I was just flipping through it.
Yeah, because last week you were pinched for time and you didn't have a chance to prepare, and you really prepared today. So
I over prepared today. You should
That's
see,
good.
I have a stack of stuff next. It's like too much.
I was interested.
Fine.
I was saying I was interested in the Vampirella because I actually have a huge case of Vampirellas from the old days, right from I remember the morning, whatever, when it started.
Yeah.
Up in my attic. I have a huge box.
If you want, I could send you $5 and you can send them to me.
I don't think he wants to part with them, is my guess there. But
I have Ashmans that are worth 10 times that. So
I just
did you guys ever? Oh, go ahead, David.
I just bought the facsimile editions of issues 1, 2, and 3 of Vampirella, and I think I paid $20 total something. So anyways, those issues are beyond my means, but I have been picking up individual issues here and there, like the one that I showed, and I think I have about 20 so far.
Wow, very cool.
Just beautiful. Yeah, the art on those are gorgeous.
Brian from Bad Taste Books can't stay, but he wanted to pop in and say hi. Hi, Brian. He says, I'm just popping in to say hi. Can't stick around. Have fun, everyone. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate you stopping in. Larry's library. Larry says Forrest J. Ackerman was the best. Yeah, Uncle Forey. And Steve says, I've heard there's a tea for that. Sorry?
For
the stomach bug. Yeah, maybe the stomach bug. That must be it. Okay. I'm getting behind on these, so they're not in the right order. Sorry, chat folks. And Chris says, if someone even mentions the word ghost around my Japanese ex-wife, she freaks out for half a day. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. My wife isn't scared by most Western horror movies, but a Japanese ghost story will freak her out. So, Vampirella. I wanted to mention before we move on, if you guys, did you ever see or collect The Rook, the old magazine, similar kind of like... I thought The Rook was cool. Yeah, The Rook was like some kind of he wasn't a spy exactly. What was he? He was just some kind of adventure dude or something. But
he time traveled, and he had this Indiana Jones vibe. It's like they took 4 or 5 different things and put it into a blender. And then
I love those cool
time traveler.
I love those cool black and white magazines like Eerie and The Rook and Vampirella.
And moved over.
Yeah, he probably spun off from one, didn't he? Okay, here's one. I wanted your wife, Paul, has probably seen the remake Hammer Horror Films Reformed, and they released the version of this starring the Harry Potter kid, Daniel Radcliffe. And that's pretty good, but this is the original made-for-TV movie one, and it's creepy as hell. The Woman in Black. Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
That's not is it Daniel Radcliffe? No.
No. Yeah. This is the original version. Oh. It's adapted by Nigel Neal. Anyone knows Nigel Neal? He did the Quatermass movies. He did a TV series called Beasts. He did a bunch of stuff, and he's a cracking writer. And he adapted Susan Cooper's novel. Susan Cooper wrote the Dark is Rising sequence of fantasy books, which is really cool. And she wrote this scary-ass book, and they made this into a scary-ass movie. It's quiet horror, but basically what it entails is there's a remote estate out on this causeway where the tide comes in, and you can only go out certain times of the day. And this young solicitor is sent out there to go through the effects of this. And he keeps hearing, crying child, ghost. And there's the woman in black that's around too. It has one of the best. It doesn't have many jump scares. There's one jump scare in this that had me jumping out of my chair. I was living in England at the time, and the residence halls where I was staying up in Preston, Lancashire, closed for the holidays unless you paid extra or something. So English friend of mine who was also rooming there invited me to stay with his family. So which was very nice. Had a lovely time down in Royal Leamington Spa in the Cotswolds, not far. We went around and looked at actually I stayed with two different friends, but this particular friend, we checked out Stratford upon Avon and all that stuff. Anyway, I think it was on the same night, or maybe it was back to back, Christmas and Boxing Day. British, the Brits have a ghost story for Christmas tradition, and they'd show some M.R. James adaptations and things. And this one aired on Christmas night.
Thinking before M.R. James, thank you.
Yeah, M.R. James. Yeah, he's awesome. And I also saw the Joan Hicks and Miss Marple Caribbean Mystery. I saw both of those live when they originally aired in 1989, right before it went into 1990 when I was there. Anyway, I highly recommend this version. This is a British Blu-ray. It was remastered because it was probably filmed in 16 millimeter originally, like a lot of British TV was. But like Poirot and the Sherlock Holmes with Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes and all that, and they've remastered it beautifully. And this was one of the last things that network. Not the last, but it was in the last phase of the late great network distributing, who put out so many great British TV shows and movies. And they went under, unfortunately. They went bankrupt after their owner died. It sadly died prematurely from cancer or something, or a heart attack. I forgot which. But he was a great guy, and they put out a lot of great stuff. And then this is great. I recommend it. You could probably find it pretty cheaply. I don't know if Kino Lorber, sometimes they would release some of these network things, or maybe imprint via Vision in Australia. But right now, shipping from the overseas is really expensive. So but if you want I haven't read the book. I've heard it's really good, but the movie, it's made for TV, but it's a proper film. I think you would enjoy it if you like that kind of British creepy ghost story vibe.
Nice.
Let's see if we got anything going on in the chat. Because we got 9 people watching, so I think we've actually peaked out at like 11 at one point, which is pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got okay. Larry's Library is saying, didn't the Rook first come out of Erie? Yeah, I'm sure you're right, Larry. I think that's what David was implying too. Yeah. So. And Chris saying, you got a Scooby-Doo shirt? Yes, I have several, Chris. I love Scooby-Doo. Obviously not very scary, but I've always liked them, especially Shaggy and Scoob. I'll follow. Those are my spirit animals, those guys. Larry says, I kind of grew up on those old Hammer films. Love that stuff. Yeah, Hammer's great. I love most of those for sure. And Chris again says, when I was teaching in London. Oh, you were teaching in London? I didn't know you were teaching in London, Chris. That's cool. I saw a play version of this story. I'd never seen a scary play before. There was even a jump scare. Yeah, that jump scare's in the TV movie, Chris. And I don't know how it went over in the theater, but I remember everyone that was watching with me in the house practically leaped out of the chairs or sofas. It's freaky as hell because it's such a quiet movie otherwise. And Erico, Nigel Neal's The Stone Tape. Yeah, that's another good one. It was so cool because it wasn't about the hypothesis at all in the story, but something absolutely terrifying. Yeah, that's the Stone Tape idea. Do you guys are you familiar with that? It means that events from history in a house or old stone building could be recorded somehow in the stone of the building, and then that's the theory behind how maybe ghostly apparitions happen. Have you seen the Stone Tape, Paul?
No, I haven't seen it, but I know
it's pretty good. It's a little dated now. It's got the very 70s, boardroom sort of stuff, and the woman who's the main character is, not treated the best by her employer, etc. Yeah, Liminal Space said Chris said everyone in the theater screamed. Oh yeah, I'm no doubt that scene is great, and the way they film it in the show is really fantastic. So, I should call it a movie. It's really a movie for TV. All right, I think we caught up on the great chat comments. So let's get to Paul. What's your next thing? I don't know how much longer you guys want to go, but I'm fine for a little while longer if you guys are good.
Before we move too far away from the Japanese horror thing, I did want to mention, because I've talked about this before, horror books don't scare me, but this right here, Goth, is the creepiest damn horror book I've ever read in my life. It actually follows a couple kids who chase down serial killers, and it has that Japanese, that grudge kind of creepy feel. and no book has ever creeped me out the way this one has. And like I said, one of my wife's favorite movies is Hellraiser, and she couldn't finish it. She had to put it down. So I just wanted
Wow.
to mention that, 'cause I've mentioned it before, and I actually had it in my hand, so I thought I'd just show it. But,
yeah. Well, Chris is big into Japanese horror. So Chris, have you read that one? Have you read Goth? Who's the author again? Paul?
Atsuchi.
Tsuichi.
Otsuichi. Wow.
But so I just wanted to real quick mention
It's available on Amazon, so you can grab it.
Yeah.
It sounds a little too horrific for me, but
it's horrific.
I guess it's also a manga version.
Oh,
is there? I think it's creepier. I think it'd be creepier. It's pretty dark. If regular book, but so
you regularly read Japanese manga, Paul. I know that. So.
Oh yeah. I used to have a bunch of horror ones that were kind of like similar to Saw, like Doubt and Rabbit and stuff like that, where they trap kids in a facility. They'd wake up there and they'd have to figure out who the killer was and why, why they were there, and they'd go through traps and stuff. There's a bunch of series like that.
They got some twisted shit in Japanese fiction and stuff, man.
One twisted version of that is something called King's Game. If you ever saw the anime of that, that is a sick twisted. It's a bunch of high school kids who they get texts and they have to follow whatever the text says, or they will get killed. And some of the stuff they do is so vile and so dark. But there's a whole that's a whole genre.
I think I'll skip that. Thank you. That's a little too dark for my taste. The world is dark enough these days. I don't know if I need that.
Before Saw did it, that was a whole genre that went for years in Japan. So they kind
of course they have the what is it, the high school one where they're wearing the collars. Dang it. They made a movie about it with Beat Takeshi. Dang it! What is that? Where it's like they have to kill each other to stay alive. What is it?
Battle Royale.
Yes. Battle Royale. Yeah.
Which is what
it's nasty enough in its own way, but yeah.
Which is what Hunger Games was based on.
Yeah, it's vastly better than Hunger Games, I think. But
I think so too. But Hunger Games isn't bad for what it is, and since I'm not a big
I like the first one, okay, but I didn't bother with the rest. Let's see. Chris says he's never heard of Goth, so I think you put one on his list, Paul. That's cool.
This is creepy as hell. The girl in this Merino is just, wow, she's dark. But she's fascinated with dead bodies, so she'll find bodies that were left by serial killers and try to investigate, and she brings another kid in, and it gets it starts kind of okay, and it just gets darker and darker and darker as it goes.
Might be too much for Chris even too. He says he prefers lots of creep in the horror, but little gore. Is it pretty gory?
No, it's definitely more creepy. There is some gore. Okay. There is some trigger warnings, even for me. But it's like I said, I don't get scared from reading books. I've read horror books. That was my base of my reading through the 80s and early 90s, and I read everything, all the paperbacks from hell, Stephen King, everything. I had never been creeped out by a book until that. That was the first time I've ever been creeped out by a book.
Wow. Well, you impressed Steve from Check Your Shelf. He says he's putting Goth on his list. I need to be scared by a book again. Yeah, Chris said Battle Royale. Thanks. Yeah, and Goatman Battle Royale. Thanks, guys. You're helping me out there with my my senior moment. Speaking of books that creep people out, it was pretty cool to hear on the recent Check Your Shelf episode. Paul, who doesn't seem to be here, but Steve's representing the show. But Paul was sharing his college days reading The Manitou by Graham Masterton, and how that scared him because there was a moment where something fell or whatever, and he was reading a really creepy part, and and threw the book in the air. So it was a fun story, and it sounds like a cool book too. Although I don't know if it needs to have 6 sequels, but that's a bit crazy. Goatman. Let's see. Liminal Spaces. Chris saying nice Goatman about about Battle Royale. And yeah, and Steve saying the world is dark enough these days, right there with you. Yeah, I like my kind of older classic Victorian horror. They can get pretty some of those weird tales can get pretty nasty though. And Chris says Beat Takeshi is amazing. Yeah, and he's great in most of what he does. He's a comedian. I was surprised after seeing him in so many scary movies and Yakuza movies and roles to see that he's known as a comedian in Japan, mostly. Goatman, too scary for me. I noped out after about the third death in Battle Royale. I think he's talking about, right? Yeah, it's pretty. Pretty dark.
I have two different translations of Battle Royale, and I have the movies. So,
yeah. And Steve said, "Okay, I just took Goth off my list." LOL.
I keep it on mine.
It's on yours. Okay, well, that's good. And it might be on Chris's too. Let's see. Goatman said, "Thick books creep me out too long for my little brain to take in." Yeah, I like the short books recently, that's for sure. But I have to read a good thicky chunker one of these days
it's not too.
Yeah, that Goth didn't look too bad there. It looked about 400.
Let's see. I don't even think it's
Paul
bad.
said every time you go live, he's tied up doing something else. Sends his best. Well, best to him too.
Yeah.
Chris says, "Jeff, have you seen the movie?" What's that? Sorry, Paul.
I'm sorry, it's 295 pages.
Oh, that's not that bad.
It includes the bonus novella that they hadn't been in there before. So, and it's not like it's too tiny a print or anything, but yeah, 295.
Chris is asking me if I've seen the movie Kikujiro, and I have not. I don't think I have, Chris. It's a Beat Takeshi movie, and it's very wholesome. Okay, well, that's surprising, considering Beat Takeshi's in it.
We don't want wholesome here. What's that about?
Wholesome horror is okay. I like the Munsters. I like the Addams Family. I like Scooby-Doo. Okay. Larry says, "I'm reading Salem's Lot for the first time, about halfway through. Have you three read that?" Salem's Lot's a really good book, and I like the Toby Hooper miniseries too.
I just reread that the beginning of this year. I think it was. I just reread it. Yeah, beginning of this year.
That's one of my favorite King books for sure.
It's definitely worth a read.
That's a good book for sure. I thought they did a recent movie that came out last year that wasn't half bad, but it was just too truncated. It was too short. Larry says the 2005 printing he has is 600 pages. That seems longer. Is that an expanded version? Did you do expanded one like you did with the Stand? Do you know anything about that, Paul? How long I don't remember Salem's Lot being that long in the version I read. But
I don't remember it being that long. They might have just they made a version with bigger
font or something. Yeah, who knows? Sometimes King adds stuff to his work. I know he added a whole bunch, hundreds of pages, a couple hundred pages to the Stand, I think, didn't he? But
well, he didn't add it.
Yeah, he says there's some extra stuff in there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they must have cut it in the original version. That's right, because they were worried about the book being too big, right?
Yeah, and then he put it back in when he had say over his control. And I've read both.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
I was saying I read both versions of the Stand, and I like the unedited version much better. It's actually a little different story.
Yeah, I think I might have read the Stand before the unedited version came out. So I haven't read that was a good book though. I don't read much King nowadays. The last one I think I read was Bag of Bones, and I liked that one pretty well, but that was a long time ago. And I did read his On Writing. Yeah, Larry says there's some extra stuff in there. So I know back when the Salem's Lot came out, King was just a beginning writer. I think it was his second book, wasn't it, after Carrie? And so he didn't have the say that he had a few years later when he was a massive bestseller. But okay, I think David is up. Was that yours? Next one, Paul? I didn't want to preempt you there. Did you get? Was that what? Did you anything else you want to say about Goth?
I was actually going to talk about something else. I just want to think, but that's fine. I can wait.
No.
Go ahead. Pull it up, man. Let's do
sure?
it. We're not going to. Yeah, we're not going to stand on ceremony here for that kind of stuff. That's okay.
I was just wanting to make sure that I got that in before people forgot about the Japanese stuff. But so I'm an '80s kid. I grew up in the '80s, and serial killers were ubiquitous to the '80s. Now, Jason may be my favorite killer, but my favorite slasher movie ever is actually the original My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, sorry, I got to put you back in large. Oh, that's got a really cool. Plot. That one.
Yeah, but the best part about this is when it came out, they had to edit it so they wouldn't allow the original version to be released. This version adds a little bit back in, but nobody's ever seen the original version because they've never released all the scenes that were cut from the original. And
Were they
my
cut because
overall
of gore or something?
that's a gore. Now I don't think it's that gory. I've seen way worse, but the way it's presented, it's really cool.
Doesn't
And,
he kill with a pickaxe or something?
yeah, there are many ways to die in Valentine's Bluff. Take your pick. I still remember the ad to this day.
That's good.
This is it's a mining town, but it was made in Canada versus the USA. But this is like my favorite single slasher movie ever, bar none. The original, they remade it and it sucks. Sucks. But yeah, this is my favorite single slasher movie ever made.
It's surprising how many slashers in the 80s were made in Canada. Quite a few.
I love this.
Terror Train was made in Canada with the Jamie Lee Curtis.
Which one? Terror Train?
Yeah, I think it was made in Canada, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was made there. I do remember the movie very well. I remember the head rolling down the aisle, but yeah.
Yeah, they probably remade that one in a bad movie too. Okay, let's keep talking there, but I'm going to pull up a few comments we have. Goatman saying, to be honest, wholesome horror is like Scooby-Doo is probably my limit. I have days like that, Goatman. And Eriko says he liked the background paintings in the old Scooby-Doo cartoons. Yeah, was that Ikao Takamoto? Was that the guy who did that? He did the designs on some of those, and they were pretty awesome. And Chris said, grew up watching Scooby-Doo, loved it. Yeah, I can't believe Scooby-Doo is still going. There's been like 20 series and 30, 40 movies and some live action movies. And there's a chess set and all kinds of cool memorabilia. And besides T-shirts, it's just funny how it's had legs. Yeah, I guess the dog, Scooby being a talking dog is enough to do it, huh? What was that?
I think it's still popular because there's still so many stoners.
Well, that could be it. Goatman says, confession time, Goosebumps covers gave me nightmares. I think Goosebumps was a little after my time, so I was too old when those were coming out, but I would have liked to have got into them.
My kids read a few of them.
I think we're all about the same age, right? Paul, you're not too far off from me.
I just turned 57. You just turned 58. I think
David's going to be 58 soon, so you guys are still 57, you young whippersnappers. But
this is the old man stream, I guess.
Yeah, it's old man stream, but you know, we know our stuff. That's the thing. We've been around for a while. Oh, Chadwick's back. We're still on. Yeah. Hey, Chadwick, how was the son of Monster Palooza?
No, it was what is the costume contest is over.
It's a costume contest. Yeah, but the event is the son of Monster Palooza, I think, right? Yeah, Larry's here too. 57 represent. Yeah. Larry's 57 too. I think we lost Brian and had to take off, and I don't think Tim's been around for a while. And those are the youngest guys I know of in this BookTube space. But anyway, that's very cool. Thanks for sharing that. I have to watch that original. I've never have seen the original, and I think I only saw clips because the Supernatural guy, one of the Supernatural actors, was in the remake. But I did, and it was in 3D. But the remake is pretty.
I saw that. It was so bad. So bad.
Well, the remake, I know one of my favorite horror movies I watch almost every Halloween is The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog, which I love. The only thing that's wrong with The Fog is there should be more bodies, but they shouldn't have limited it to 6. But otherwise, it's fantastic, and the remake sucked so bad.
And the movie, neither of the movies have anything to do with the book.
Oh, the James Herbert The Fog. Yeah, I haven't read that, but I don't mind that. I think The Fog itself is so cool by its own. The Carpenter Fog. That
we're back to Carpenter again. We could do a whole stream on Carpenter someday.
Yeah, and how he kind of crashed and burned, poor guy. But his run for a while there, all the way up through Starman, was pretty great. Even They Live is pretty fun. So Eriko must be around our age because he says we've been around the block. He. So Goatman 41. So over the hill. You're not here. You're not over the hill yet with this crowd, Goatman. Chadwick, the costume contest was awesome. One of the winners was a 19-year-old cosplayer with a homemade Cathoga costume. That was the monster from the Relic. Wow, the Cathoga. That's got to be pretty cool costume. Wow. Yeah, Larry's remembering Adrienne Barbeau, sexy DJ up on the lighthouse in The Fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's in Creep Show and she's in Swamp Thing, so she has some pretty good horror cred, as well as a couple of other good things she has. But we won't go there. But sorry, on PC. Had to go there. Anyway, if I saw the fog, I would run. Burr. Yeah, the fog. Fog was pretty cool. I guess they had to add in those more gruesome scenes because they were wanting more gore, the producers. But he was just going to do a ghost story, but they wanted some scary scythe deaths and sword deaths and things. Okay, I believe it's David's turn. Let's move you over, David.
So let me ask you, how many more rounds are we going to do? Because I could do 1, 2, or 3. So
what do you think, Paul? Are you good for a little while longer?
I'm fine. I had bourbon. I got my ghost energy drink. So
I might need to do a quick run to relieve myself here. Too much information, but I'll let you guys party on and come back. But I think we can do 3. Yeah, I'm good for a while. So if you're fine, if you don't have to go anywhere right away, David, let's do 3.
I even have a light or something for Goatman who doesn't like the extreme stuff. I think
I have one too that would be up Goatman's alley. That wouldn't be too scary. So, oops. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Let me get back to the.
I'm ready. Look at my dog.
Yeah, go ahead, please, David.
Yeah, so I was going to talk about modern horror comics because there's been a real resurgence. They haven't really left, but it just seems recently there's just been this spate of comics that are coming out, and they're all horror related. So I have some to show off real quick. Now, one of the biggies right now is Mark Spears, and unfortunately I don't have a lot of his stuff. I have 2 to show. Now this is this guy's art is just taking the comic world by storm. It's very painterly.
Oh, he's doing the classic Universal monsters too. Nice.
Yeah, and the interior art is the same. It's just like really cool. A lot of his covers are homages to other things. So this
cool.
is an homage to the Killing Joke, Batman: The Killing Joke. So this is a character in his comic that is taking over the role. I mean, but look at the art, is just phenomenal. And he's also representing something that's happening in comics, which I don't particularly like. But there are so many variant covers, and they'll put out like 1 in 1,000, and then those things cost like a gazillion dollars. But so many people are like just buying this up, and like right now he is the artist that like everybody's going crazy for. This was
just because of the covers. Well, that's an awesome cover. I'd like a poster of that.
This was free, so of course I could afford that one.
Was that like a free comic book day one?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, of course, DC Comics gets in on the horror, and this is they put out a 4-issue miniseries, and on each cover they featured a different one of their iconic. I think it was Batman. This one is Batman. And it's called DC Horror. And this one is Superman. I mean, and they also did, they made them really
the zombie Superman or something.
Like, they're all like tied up and like rotted or whatever. And they also did Wonder Woman and Green Lantern. And I recently bought the collected edition of that. Unfortunately, the issues aren't very good. But these covers, I had to buy them for the covers alone. I mean, those covers are so cool. This one, a bat is coming out of Batman's mouth.
So they've been like murdered or something? Is that the idea?
They're murdered and they're just sitting there.
Okay.
Universal Monsters, there was a company that is, they got the rights. And they started with Dracula. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. And unfortunately, they started out very strong, but they're getting worse and worse, which is really unfortunate. But
you're talking about the covers or the interior art or
the stories? The stories have just gotten worse. Like the Dracula one was great. The Frankenstein one is really good. Then there was here's another Frankenstein cover for it. Thank you. The Creature from the Black Lagoon was okay. And then they're doing an Invisible Man one that I haven't bought any. I just I haven't.
That creature one's okay. Yeah, I like the creature one.
Look at.
That is awesome. That is great.
Wait, did I show this one already? I'm not sure. The Frankenstein. But
So you don't have the Dracula one, but you have the others, looks like.
Yeah, I didn't buy any of the Dracula ones because I didn't particularly like the art. However, I recently read it in a collected edition, and the art grew on me. It was pretty interesting. I only buy these. I don't buy single issues unless I really like the covers. I will read things in collected editions. So I bought, and then there's another kind of like an EC Comics like revamp, and there you can even see they have an EC logo here, and so
Epitaphs.
Yeah, Epitaphs from the Abyss is their horror. I think their horror comic.
That's pretty gnarly cover.
Yeah, I like to buy the Lee Bermejo covers. I just think he's a phenomenal artist. Here's another one, and these are actually pretty good. The stories are really good inside.
Well, that's pretty creepy.
And then there's also a Creep Show series of comics that
love Creep Show. Fluffy's great.
I think that's a pretty cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool cover. Yeah.
So my next round is going to be about the more traditional or older horror comics. So I pulled out some modern, like the ones that are going on now. Those are just like really, they're just it's this genre that just pops up, and right now it's like everybody's buying horror again.
Well, we got some comments that came in while you were talking there, so I put some of them up, but we'll do them real quick again. Sleepy mentioning Mark Spears, and Larry liking your shirt. What's on your shirt there, David? Marvel, yeah.
And there's like, look at, there's like,
Iron Mans and little caps and stuff.
Yeah.
Steve says from Check Your Shelf, Paul, the other host, is our comics expert, and I'm sure he'll weigh in tomorrow. He won't be able to watch until after, maybe. And Larry's from Larry's Library. I love the Creature Mini.
Yeah.
And Sleepy, Dracula, and Frankenstein from Image were my favorites.
Yeah.
And Goatman, an omnibus of Mark Spears' work would be good.
It would be. Yeah, just so many of his stuff is out of reach because like he'll put out these amazing, covers, but they go for hundreds, like sometimes $700.
Is that because people buy them out and then escalate the price? Comics World's kind of full of that kind of stuff. Seems like.
I call it manufactured scarcity because they'll be like, oh, 1 in 1,000, and so like then everybody's scrambling to get it, and I don't like what that does to the comic community, but I'm in the minority there.
Well, I know a lot of people. I mean, I always wondered because what I like about you and some Sleepy and Larry and those guys, you read the comics, right? Some people just collect, keep them in wrappers. Carefully, for in mint condition to trade them for buco bucks and don't even read them, which, that's something that's your investment, fine, but seems to defeat the purpose. They're meant to be read, I think. So what do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, no, definitely. I read my books. That's why, I get them. If there's something really, really cool, I might buy an extra copy in a good condition, but that's rare. But I buy things, I buy them to read. I've read all my comics, or they're going to be read. But I don't buy new ones anymore.
I know you're a fast reader, Paul, but you get such huge book hauls, even you can't read all of those that quick. So
I'm saving up for my retirement.
Yeah. No, I always like what was it? What's his name? Harlan Ellison. He always said, "What's the use of having a library if you've read all the books in it?" Right? So you want to go in and pull something out that you haven't read yet, right? So
the idea of having that many books, though, isn't about if you're going to read them at that moment. It's about having the option to read them if you feel like it.
Exactly.
You want to
read all those books? No, I don't have all the books that I haven't read all my books. Why would I want? I keep the books I really love that I've read, but I want books to read in the future. That's the whole point of having a library and collecting stuff. Not that I have any problem with someone who doesn't collect and goes and gets books from the library. If I had more options of English books in the Japanese libraries here, I would be all over that. There's some really nice libraries here with really nice Japanese books, but not
We're
a
all
lot of.
collectors too. Come
There'd
on.
be a lot.
Yeah,
I'm sure we have things in our collection that we'll never read again, but we want it just because. So, I mean, it goes both ways.
I try not to be a completist too much on stuff, but it's because that can sometimes get in the way of collecting. Like if I wanted, I wouldn't mind having the first few Gore books, for example, John Norman Gore, but I don't need the whole series. Some people collect because they'd got to have them all, and good on them if that's what they like to do. I'm not going to tell anyone what they should collect things, but I don't need to have all of them. I want to have some of something I like is enough for me. Same with like TV shows. I don't have to have every single season of the Andy Griffith Show. I just have the ones that have Don Knotts' Barney Fife in it, the first 5. That's enough for me. I don't need, when he's gone, I don't think it's the same show anymore. So let's see. We got, let's see. Oh yeah,
I wanted
Larry's library reader first, collector second. Yeah, I think that's a good way to be. And Chris from Liminal Spaces agrees. Yeah.
I wanted to say I'm a huge proponent of libraries, but here's the problem. One of the reasons I've been doing this collecting so many more is my library, my local library, has been closed for renovations for like a year and a half. They're
a year and a half.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
It's the one I've been going to since I was a kid, and it's really, really small, but it gets a lot of traffic. And they bought up all the houses around it, and that's what I love about living in my community. Though is that we do support the libraries, and they all put money towards making this bigger because so many people do use it. But it has been closed for so long, and there's other libraries I can go to, but it's a long drive out to pick them up and pick them up. So that's why I started buying more books because I don't get
creating your own library. Yeah. Yeah, but especially for things that are really expensive, like reference works, or although I don't know if libraries get some of those like big omnibus comic collections like David's showing off. Those are pretty expensive. I know library funding's been cut and slashed a lot too. So I'm not sure how much, but in the past, if there were books that or university press kind of books that were film books or whatever that can be $60, $70, $80, $100, that's a good way to get to see them, look at them in the library. And libraries are just cool places to hang out, but they're suffering a little bit, unfortunately. It's sorry to hear that. Okay,
that's the thing. We are supporting it. That's one of the benefits of living in New York State. There is a good supply of money to going to arts and libraries and things like that in New York State, and that's why our library is getting such a huge renovation. I mean, they're literally doubling the size of it, doubling the parking lot and everything, but that's why it's been taking so long. So, but yeah, that's how now it's like I miss. I used to have books go to the sent to my library, my branch, like 10 a week, and now I don't have that. So
yeah, so you gotta put got to be your own library. Chris from Liminal Spaces has to run. Thanks so much for checking it out, Chris. Really appreciate it. Happy anniversary on the 2nd year, 2 full years of your show, of your channel. Great channel, great guy. David, if you haven't had a chance to check out his channel, or anyone in the chat, please check out Chris's channel. He does great work over there, and he's really friendly and supportive to other booktubers. So Sleepy, our library is being renovated for 1.5, 2 years also. I think if I remember right, Sleepy, are you in Portland, Salem, Eugene? Portland? Yeah, okay. Can still pick up holds though. That's good. Yeah, another bookish place. Home of Powell's. I went to Powell's last year. Have you ever been to Powell's? Ever been on that side of the neck of the woods? Either of you guys? I know Sleepy came to visit you, David, but I don't think you've been up to visit him yet. He needs to, if you do, he needs to take you to Powell's. It's literally, thank you, Chris. It's literally, you'll be going like rubbernecking, going, oh, where'd I go? It's so huge. It's almost too huge, really. But yeah, I think your beard beats mine, Paul, says Chris. It's getting nice and bushy. What is it with booktubers and beards? So many of you guys have these really handsome beards that you got rocking there. No, I can't. Mine's a little wispy thing. So
what it is we get so involved in the book we forget to shave, and we just let it go.
It just grows out while you're reading.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Eames guys have beards. Chris has beards. Uncle Jimmy has a beard. You have a beard. David has a beard. Larry from Larry's library has a beard. I think Sleepy has a beard too, right?
Just hot.
Pretty sure.
Look at your virgin face. Nobody wants to see that. You can cover that up.
I luckily have the jaw for not having a beard, so it's okay. I could maybe grow one in 50 years. By the time I keeled over, it maybe grow out to about here or something. I'm a hairless wonder, I guess. Let's see, Goatman. What does Goatman say? I have the conundrum of books. I think might be a 4/10 to read. 4 out of 10. I want to read them to get them out of my library, but I don't hold them as high priority as I think they'd be on the fringe of my tastes. Yeah. That's a difficult thing. Your reading time is precious, right? So, let's see. We got something from Sleepy Reads. Love Pals. Yeah, well, I love it too, Sleepy. I hadn't been there in a long time, and I brought my wife there for the first time, and it was a little difficult because our son, my son's got some he's a special needs kid, and so he's a good kid, but he's energetic and he's running all over the place, so I could barely focus. So it'd be okay to my wife Noriko, watch him for a little bit. I'm gonna go look for this, and then I'll watch him. You go look for that. So, and Pals is just a little overwhelming. If you live there, you could take your time and stuff. But I got some good books there. I kind of prefer the little smaller scale ones just because they're a little less, making you panic about all the things you need to look for, because Powell's is literally a city block of 3 floors, and it's just massive. You have to get a map to know where in the hell everything is. It's great though. Chad, I don't know where you live, but he mentioned Powell's is terrific, so maybe he's there somewhere. Goatman saying bye to Chris, and Sleepy David's last bookstore was amazing too. Bookstore. Did David have a bookstore?
No, the last bookstore in Los Angeles. It's got the book tunnel, and it's like they have a tunnel, like a book thing where you can put your.
Oh, right. Is that the one that's in the airplane hangar, or the warehouse, or whatever?
That one I went to recently as well, but
that looked pretty cool too. That's the one with the book spiral, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and the tunnel you go through. It's a tunnel.
Wow, that's cool.
It's like really famous.
And I think you took Sleepy the back way through the pissy staircase or whatever, and you're like, I don't even notice it. I've been in LA long enough.
I've never seen a grown man whine so much. No, I'm joking. He was like,
yeah.
No, it was fine, but it was.
Well, I would think after living in Portland that these days, living in Portland, Sleepy's got to be used to some piss smell, sadly. So Portland downtown has kind of went to hell in a handbasket, but from what I've heard. But the area around Powell's is not bad. So let's see. Chadwick says, I have a beard too. Yeah. And Steve was another clean-shaven fellow like myself. I could go 6 months without saving, and you wouldn't be able without shaving. I wouldn't be able to tell it. Yeah, I'm like you, Steve. That's probably Paul is our beard expert. Yeah, Paul has a beard too. His partner Paul, not this Paul here. Okay. Goatman, I grew a beard this year for the first time. Shaved it off last week and kind of regretted it. Will grow again. Well, yeah, they have this kind of, I don't know if you guys have seen a meme or whatever on YouTube where the guys shave off their beards and their girlfriends or wives react in horror usually. Why? most of the time. Yeah, Sleepy, way more piss in LA. The stench is in your lungs. That was a really
stuck. We were like, we had to go through this like corridor down these stairs. And we were like around. We couldn't get.
Well, as long as the bookstore doesn't smell like piss, then we're okay. No,
but it's in a pretty bad area.
Yeah, there's got to be some skeevy areas, and I think the Powell's is in. Portland has some skeevy areas too, but as far as I recall, but Powell's is in one of the maybe more business district areas. So when you go up if you ever go up to visit, and you should to visit Sleepy, you should. He'll take you to Powell's and. As well as some really good restaurants. There's some great restaurants there too.
Got out of there with his life.
Okay, well, let's see. I guess it's me. So, or did I? right? No, it was you that went last, right, David? Okay, good. So
I can't remember. It was a while ago. I don't remember.
Well, I want to show something for Goatman before Goatman takes off. Goatman wanted something, maybe something that was a little less scary. This one is very cool. This is another Kino Lorber release. This is a made-for-TV pilot that never got beyond the pilot stage, called Dark Intruder. Believe it or not, Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun and all that, when he was a serious actor, plays this really cool. It's like a Victorian era set in San Francisco. He's an occult detective, and Peter Mark Richmond plays a friend of his who gets. It's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde scenario, and it's about 59 minutes. So it's about almost an hour. So it's like I guess a early B movies length, but it was made in 1965. It's pretty cool, and Leslie Nielsen is really fun as a suave, kind of like Sherlock Holmesian sort of San Francisco detective who specializes in occult mysteries. And it would have been a really cool series. I'm sorry it didn't go to series. And of course, they did nice new art for it. I think what happened was, because it didn't sell as a TV series, so they released whoever produced it. I forgot which studio produced it. Released it as a movie, or maybe it was a double bill with something else, and that might be the original movie poster. But it has a commentary again from film historian, screenwriter Gary Girani, the guy who was on the Ritual of Evil and Fear No Evil one. Excellent commentary track and very fun movie. And it's got some creepy Kolchak-y sort of vibes, but it's not too scary whatsoever. So I think Goatman would enjoy it. It's more fun than anything, I think. I'll do one other movie real quick. The last of the movies. Have you guys seen this one, The Curse of the Undead? This is a horror western. I think it's pretty cool. And this is also a Kino Lorber release. It plays a lot like a TV western from the 60s. It's got a lot of the same actors. The hero is Eric Fleming, who played the head good guy alongside Clint Eastwood in Rawhide, the TV series Rawhide. He's a really good actor, but he plays a priest in this one, a local minister. And he's interested in this young woman in town, played by, what was her name? She's beautiful, Kathleen Crowley. And Michael Pate, the Australian actor Michael Pate, who played bad guys all the time. He was in the movie Hondo with John Wayne, etc. He played Indians a lot, even though he was a white Australian guy. But he had kind of one of those looks where he could play any kind of role. But he plays a vampire gunslinger, and it's very cool. And it's a fun movie, and it's a good Halloween watch. Just atmospheric. It's got, it's got a cast that you would see in like a classic Twilight Zone or Alfred Hitchcock Presents or something. It came out in 1959, and it's a lot of fun. It's not, genius work or anything, but it's a cool Western horror. And at the end, the priest has to face off with the cross on his silver bullet, against the vampire in a gunfight. It's pretty cool. So I recommend those. It's a couple of fun little older horror flicks. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got a few comments. So Sleepy Reader saying we do have some creepy homeless areas, just more bathrooms, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately, on the in the shops doorways and things. Goatman says, "Oh, sounds cool." I think he means about Dark Intruder. And David,
Get that one.
I have a Dark Intruder. Oh man, you were trying to keep that off the screen. Sorry about that. Okay. Goatman says, good reason for pilots to be long, at least to get a TV movie out of them. Yeah. So 59 minutes couldn't have been aired in a regular hour slot. So, and Chadwick says, I have to check out your channel, Chadwick's channel of stuff. I'll have to check that out. Saw Curse of the Undead a long time ago. It was a really good, weird Western. Yeah, I recommend it. I don't want to oversell it. It's not like a lost classic or anything, but I think it's pretty cool, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm glad to have it in my movie collection. Okay, I've got a couple more things, but I could do it all at once. Maybe we should cut it in another 15 minutes or so, I guess. So Paul, what would you like to pinpoint there?
So, one of the great things about horror is you can mix it with other genres. And who doesn't love some horror comedy? I mean, Jim at Mystery and Mayhem was just talking about watching Abbott and Costello meet Frank the Wolfman or Frankenstein the other day, and
that movie.
And of course, Ghostbusters is probably the best of all of them. But there are other options out there. Of course, there's the Evil Dead series.
Yeah, especially the third one is a lot of fun. But the first one's the Boomstick edition. Army of Darkness. Yeah.
It is fantastic. I mean, I love that series. But who can forget this lost classic? The original Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's not bad, actually. Pee Wee Herman and Rutger Hauer and Luke Perry, the late Luke Perry.
Donald Sutherland.
That's right. Donald Sutherland was the Watcher. Yeah.
So you know what? No, don't overlook.
Christy Swanson's cuter than Sarah Michelle Gellar, but
yeah, but she went a little crazy. She got a little nuts. But
I saw that in the theater. Believe it or not,
I did too. I liked it.
So this was the TV show Buffy was actually a reaction to them screwing up Joss Whedon's version. So he said, "Damn it, I'm just going to go with my way."
Yeah, and of course I love the series, of course, but much more than the movie. But the movie's fun. I don't think the movie's bad, other than the bit with Paul Rubens overacting when he's as he's dying or whatever when he's steak.
Continuing, irreverent horror though. Don't overlook Cabin in the Woods.
I think that has didn't Whedon write the script of that with Drew Goddard or something?
Yes, exactly. Drew Goddard's movie with
fantastic. Have you seen that, David?
What, The Cabin in the Woods? Yeah. I think that's phenomenal. I love it.
That's one of the
love this movie.
It's one of the best horror movies in a long time. I think it's terrific. It's so clever.
Every time with the running joke in my family, because every time we hear an elevator ding, we laugh because of the scene in that movie.
Oh, and that ending is unbelievable. The ending of that movie.
And I love that they went and showed other areas, and you got to see the Japanese version of it and stuff. And, my biggest issue with this is there's a definitive ending, and they can never make a sequel, and it makes me sad. This is probably one of the best horror movies.
Make a prequel though. They could do a prequel, but I'd rather they not. It's perfect as it is.
It's perfect.
So there you go, man. Some stuff that isn't quite, that isn't quite so bad.
It's pretty bloody, but it's so clever and meta. I'm not always big on meta stuff, but that one takes the cake. That one's got a genius twist in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable imagination for that. That was great. That was a great one. Just those. Did you have any other comedy horror ones you had there at hand?
I mean, we can talk about Ghostbusters, but I thought it was kind of Ghostbusters was kind of obvious. But
David did Star Wars last week, so I think Ghostbusters is okay. David pulled up because he didn't have much time to search, so he said this one's obscure, and he pulled up Star Wars.
My three favorite comedies of all time would be Ghostbusters, Stripes, and Slapshot. So.
Yeah, there's a couple of new documentaries about John Candy, and they're talking about how that scene in Stripes where he's mud wrestling with the strippers really bothered him. He was really worried about his showing his body and stuff, and he didn't like it. You
ever seen this, The Russian Night Watch?
Yeah, I saw that, and it had a sequel.
I haven't.
I like that one.
I've heard it's good though.
Yeah, werewolves and vampires, but done from a Russian perspective. It's kind of cool. You should check that out sometime. The books are good too.
I think there was a sequel to that one.
I think so too. I think I've seen the sequel.
Well, I'll catch up with a few comments here. So Larry's chastising David for trying to get us banned there with his joke. And I think Steve meant John dies at the end. I think John dies at the end. That's one I haven't seen. I've heard a lot of buzz about it.
I like the book a lot better. I read the entire series from him. And actually, that whole series is kind of fun. But the the book is definitely way
I
better
think
than
Steve might be talking about the book because he says, as for movies, he likes Zombieland. So I guess I infer then that means that he meant the book for John Dies at the End. Zombieland's fun. Yeah, I didn't see the sequel, but I like the subtitle Double Tap. That was pretty cool. And Larry's talking about the OG Buffy isn't bad until you watch the show. Yeah, the show puts it to shame. Yeah, and Steve corrected himself, of course, Dies. Yeah, we got you, Steve. We know what you meant. Larry, I was just remembering Cabin in the Woods. So great. Yeah, that one, if you haven't seen it, that comes highly recommended as a modern horror film.
Yeah.
Chadwick, Tequila is my lady. I love the Cabin in the Woods. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, David, how about you? Why don't we do your last round? What do you want to show?
Okay, so
Hold on, let me get you on the big
I
screen
got
here.
all of these, so I don't know if you want to see them or not.
Yeah,
Steve,
no, yeah, go ahead, man. Let's do it.
Man,
Let's blitz it out.
I went through and just grabbed a bunch of old horror comics, and No Rhyme or Reason's the one that I came across first. So I've got all companies like Dell, Ghost Story. Here's a Charlton, Tom Sutton cover. I recently focused.
Speaking of libraries, the Haunted Library. All right.
Yeah. And this one is psychedelic. These paintings are coming to life to punish somebody.
Nice.
This is a more recent one, but I think that cover is just pretty cool.
Whoa, yeah.
Nightmare.
Ozzy, that should be a Black Sabbath cover.
There's a Ghostly Tale.
Oh, that's cool. I like that monster.
This one is Charlton, but the cover's by Mike Zeck, so he's pretty famous.
How old is that one? That one looks like it's probably pretty old.
This one, I think, is from 1976.
Yeah, same as my $6 Million Man comic, but that one has a much better cover.
And then here is one.
Dr. Spectre.
Yeah, the Occult Files of Dr. Spectre, and there's a swamp monster.
Swamp monster fighting a gator. Cool.
Yeah. And there was an earlier version of Creepy, and I grabbed this one because I think that cover is pretty creepy. All these bodies hanging in.
When you say earlier version, what do you mean earlier version? Before the main magazine?
No, there's the Creepy that came out in whenever, like the 50s. And then this is probably from the 90s or the 2000s.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Now there's another version now.
Right. Okay, I gotcha.
I think this is an older comic, but that's an actual Frazetta cover.
Yeah, that's a Frazetta cover. I think it's been on a fantasy book or collection somewhere. Do you recognize that, Paul? That looks familiar to me.
It looks familiar, but I can't place where I've seen it. I know I've seen it.
Yeah, I think it's been used also on a book cover too. I mean, a regular book, but I can't place it either.
We've got
House of Secrets. Cool.
Yeah,
Gothic
this is
sort of
Neil. Oh God, now I'm forgetting.
Look at that dog going nuts down there.
Yeah, Neil Adam, not Neil Adam. I think. Yeah, like this art is just so cool on these. This is House of Secrets again. These kids hiding from this woman walking up the stairs. But look at the light and the shadow in that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
This one
Speaking of dogs, you have dogs as well, David. They're not huskies, but you have little dogs, right?
Yeah, they're ready to go out. So this one is really beat up, but this is like a really, really famous cover.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy.
That's cool.
Because it's one of
the lighting on that, the shadows are really cool.
Yeah, well, that's a House of Secrets. And this is probably one of my all-time favorite covers in comics. I just think this is the craziest, like, batshit cover. I just love
what the hell? Speaking of batshit, yeah,
they're like doing right. I just think the shadows, everything about this cover is just so awesome. And this is a House of Mystery. I
remember seeing House of Mystery and House of Secrets around, but I don't think I ever picked them up.
How are they putting this out? Like, these are for kids. Like, what is going on?
Kids in the 70s, man. If you watch British TV, their 70s TV shows that were for kids many of them are really weird and creepy. They are not just for kids. They're not kiddie stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to take a long time with all these, but
that's fine. They're cool. Yeah, show that cover again. That one's cool.
Yeah, so you can see like the Charlton comics are of a lower quality, but I still find them fascinating, right? When you compare them to like the House of Mystery, the art, but I still love them. I just think they're cool. And the stories are actually pretty good in these. They're fun. So here's another one. Like this one is it's weird. The perspective. The guy is running along the train tracks and he's screaming out, screaming, "Can you see the things in the subway? Can't you see?" And he's like running. The train's coming. The people on the tracks are like, "What the hell?"
That's cool.
Yeah,
so much imagination in all of those, man.
Yeah. It just, I mean, look, like the detail.
Ghosts. The mini ghosts.
The many ghosts of Dr. Graves. It's hard to see it.
Okay. I can't see Dr. Graves there very well. Yeah. But interesting cover.
And
how's the interior art on those? Are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine. Like I recently did a show on a bunch of these comics and I show the interior art. Now
I'll have to look for that video.
The gold key ones, the art isn't as good, but actually the Charlton art is nice. And now here's some Marvel ones. Like, you know, these are more
where monsters dwell.
Yeah, they're more expensive because anything Marvel or DC, they're, you know, they're more sought after. So here's this guy.
Oh, cool. Reminds me of Mimic, the Del Toro Mimic movie a little bit. The giant cockroachy people.
He wakes up in the future. And everyone's cockroaches. It's just hilarious. Like, who puts himself in a time capsule? Here's a cool one. That I think that's Jack Kirby. I could be wrong.
It looks like Kirby. Some kind of golem stone. Oh, Easter Island golems turning monsters. That's cool.
Here's, you know, from Dark
Shadows.
But there's a lot of detail. Like Barnabas is running after people stealing his coffin, and then there's just all this weird stuff. It's separated and welcome. It says the missing coffin. Like they're just stealing. It's silly. They're like stealing his coffin as he's running after them. Here's a cool one. So I love the Dell comics, the Gold Key, because of the painted covers. I just think, like, look at
that's a really cool cover.
Yeah. Here's another one. The painted covers. Now the art on the interior of these is nowhere near as good, but these covers, they're just so cool.
Well, that's where they wanted to catch your eye and get you to buy it, and then and then if you're disappointed inside, then you know, oh well. It's true about some paperback books too. Wow, that one's cool. Look at that.
Yeah,
weird.
These things are awesome.
Goat demon thing.
I'm actually almost done. I only have like 10 left.
Where are you finding all of these? You just go to different comic shops around LA? I mean, I guess LA would be a great place to find that stuff. You order them, you lots?
Online. I do in lots. This one, I don't know how PC this is, but they're like, they're defending their burial ground from the Iron Horse.
And they summon some giant, huh? That's cool.
I don't know what you want to say. That's not really horror. It's sci-fi, but it's like they're here. Aliens answer an ad. Aliens answer an ad.
Okay.
Look at this one. These almost done. Sorry, Paul. Almost done. Look at this one. How cool this is.
That is cool.
And okay, 3 more. Now this one is a little weird. I think this is real. There's even an album cover with this on it. So it's kind of like weird to have this because that's an actual.
Oh, the shrunken head. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really kind of controversial, but I mean, that's like a shrunken head. And it's on a comic book. Yeah, it's a real one.
Those used to be a big thing to collect back in the day, the fake ones. I guess. So that's
that
cool.
one. Okay, last one. Are you ready for it? Let's see if it's worth all the hype. So it's the very last one. I didn't pick it for any reason. So here we go. A painted cover where there's a yacht going through.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, Boris Karloff.
I like that one.
Love the mystery.
That's a good series if everyone finds that Boris Karloff's Thriller. I think most of them are available on YouTube. There's some really good creepy horror stories there, as well as some crime and suspense stories. And I recommend Pigeons from Hell and The Grim Reaper with William Shatner. William Shatner's in a couple good ones. The other one's
those. Sorry about that, but yeah, we've been on a while, and I just.
Oh, that's no problem. Yeah, I'll just finish up real quick. I just wanted to show this Peter Haining edition. Peter Haining did a lot of cool various anthologies and stuff, and this is the Black Magic Omnibus. I think it's an Australian book, maybe. No, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. So it's a Futura Publications and Orbit book. I guess that's Orbit's logo up there. but pretty interesting,
Make
creepy
yourself
cover, I
big.
guess. And it's got some cool stories in here. It's got a Zelazny story, a Derelith, a Manly Wade Wellman, the Liars in Wait. It's got a Seabury Quinn, not a Jules D. Grandin. Eric Frank Russell. There's your you're stealing
big.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. You're trying to get my attention. Yeah, I was spacing out. Sorry. I need to get to some comments too. I'm losing the plot. Okay, sorry. All right, here, let me get me over there if I can. And then I'll get some comments up. Sorry, guys in the chat, people in the chat. I'm gonna, if I can move this stupid thing over there. Come on, get over there, drag over there. Let's go.
There you go.
There we are. Okay. Sorry, just real quick. I'll just talk about some of the writers in here. So, Eric Frank Russell, Jerome Bixby, Robert Arthur, and Aleister Crowley. I think Robert Arthur's the guy who did all those Alfred Hitchcock, kind of stories to keep you up at night, things that came out in the 60s. M.P. Shield, Witch's Hollow by H.P. Lovecraft, Shirley Jackson, The Demon Lover, and April in Paris, Ursula K. Le Guin, and Cry Witch by Fritz Leiber. So pretty good collection of stories there. Yeah. And I don't know where I got it. Can't remember half of where I got half of everything that here. And then I think that's it. I think that'll do me. So let's just go through some of the last chat remarks, and we'll wind things up because people are probably ready to.
You got to be the last one, Paul.
Okay.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me just get to some chat remarks real quick. Okay, we have Goatman. I wrote them all down. Maybe our movie suggestions. Thanks for the suggestions. I think I have seen the Buffy movie when I binged the TV show. Not sure. Check your Steve Old Time Hockey. That must have been from one of the covers you showed, I think.
No, I'm talking about the movie Slapshot when I said it was one of my favorite comedies.
Oh, right. Yeah. The Henson Brothers. Yeah. Jason Pargin is one of my favorite authors. Jason Pargin.
Don't know that one.
Do you guys catch that? What that in reference to? Sorry, Steve. I'm not sure I'm catching that one. Erico, love the Ripley's Believe It or Not, True Ghost Stories comics. Goatman, phenomenal comic covers. I wish more art like that was in art galleries. Erico, the dog is smiling. Sleepy David's going to get everyone addicted to comic books. Yeah, it's working on me, Sleepy. Wasn't much of a comic books guy. I like them, but I never collected them just because I would read them so fast, and then I'd have to wait for the next issue. But some of these omnibuses of creepy and eerie and the EC stuff, I'm definitely looking forward to get some of those, and maybe some of the Donald Duck, Carl Barks omnibuses too. That's pretty cool. Oh, John dies at the end. I see. It's a reference to the author of John dies at the end. Sorry about that. Jason Pargin. Or is it Pargin or Pargin? Sorry. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Erico, I'm currently reading Peter Haining's Great British Tales of Terror 1974 paperback anthology. Yeah, he did great anthologies. I first came across him when he was editing some books on the classic Doctor Who. And here's Mark Richardson. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you pop in. Wow, we're just about wrapping up, Mark. Sorry, but I'm glad you could join in. We got a few more minutes here. G pronounced like a J. Okay, so Pargin. Okay, Pargin. Okay. So yeah, Mark, we've just been showcasing some horror stuff, etc. Glad you could join in. Chadwick's Channel of Stuff have been collecting the Vampirella Omnibus Collections fun stuff. Goatman, hi, Richard. You just made it. Yeah. Richard has a really cool channel. Richardson's Reads. I recommend you guys check that out. Mark's channel is really cool. And hope everyone checks each other's channels out who are in the chat and otherwise. And some new people that are new to me that are like Sleepy and Larry can check out some of these other channels and vice versa. Larry's channel and Sleepy's channel are both great, and David's channel, of course. You guys should check those out. All right, Paul, you want to bring us home, finish it up, and then we'll call it a morning for me and a night for you guys. Let's bring you over there, Paul.
Yeah. So I was actually trying to decide because I had whether to show you more games or more graphic novels, but he showed you an awful lot of graphic novels. But I'll probably go with the games. But I do want to show you one of my favorite horror covers ever.
Wow, it's like a Ouija board. Wow.
it's I've never actually read the book. I just actually like the cover, so I leave it on my shelf.
That's cool.
But so yes, a couple more board games horror oriented. So I'm probably the only one who does that. The classic Victory Point games, Dawn of the Zeds. This is actually one you can, this is actually one you can play solo.
What's
and
a Zed?
Zed, I think, would mean Z for zombie, like that.
Zombie. Yes, it's a zombie game.
It is the British pronunciation of and Canadian, I suppose, and Australian and New Zealand, the Commonwealth pronunciation of Z.
This game is actually really big. Was really popular. This is the second edition. They've actually done a third edition since then. But it is a solo play game where you're trying to defend your town, like Walking Dead style, and move through the map against zombies. So there's that, and then All Things Zombies, which is very similar, where you're in it's almost Old West style, where you're battling zombies as they come into town. But this one's 1 to 6 players, so you can play by yourself or with a whole group of people.
Huh.
And so as many as you want. But
cool.
This won the award 2006 Origins Award for miniatures games, but this actually uses. This one doesn't have the miniatures in it. This uses the chits. But yes, so a couple horror games that you could play either with yourself or with your friends.
That's cool.
This is all news to me, man. I played a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons back in the day, but I'm way out of this RPG world. So that's
no.
cool.
These aren't RPGs. These are board games.
Oh, board games. Oh,
get it right.
These are both board games.
No, I told you I don't know what I'm talking about with these things. So board game. Wow. But you can play a board game you can play by yourself, really? Wow, that's cool.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. I probably have about 200 war games board games that you play solo. But yeah, you can see it's played on a board with the character chits. Same with this one.
I'm familiar with like Risk and Catan and things like that, but
and then same with this one.
Like
you're basically playing against the an AI system with cards and stuff. So, but yeah, just thought close it out with some board games.
Well, I think we covered a gamut of stuff. Yeah, we have a gamut of stuff, and Paul. So before we go, guys, so for some people who might not know each other's channels or the watchers, talk a little bit about your channel. I know Paul has been growing leaps and bounds. He's just scratching almost to 1K. Congratulations on that, Paul. You want to talk a little bit about your channel, what you like to do, and anything that you got coming up?
I try to highlight a lot of unknown authors and forgotten books. I like to talk about pulpy stuff, new pulp, old pulp, as well as horror and sci-fi. So I'm kind of I'm always looking for authors and books that are not talked about in mainstream. I try purposely to go out of my way to avoid things that you'd see other people talk about. But I'm all over the board in genres. It's just basically, hey, you probably haven't heard about this, or this, you've forgotten this, and you maybe should check it out. It's worth, since somebody else is talking about it and Barnes & Noble doesn't have it on the shelf, check it out. It's kind of what I'm aiming for. But I'm sci-fi, horror, pulp, crime, adventure, action, mystery,
historical, history, and nonfiction.
Well, I do nonfiction, but I don't do a lot of nonfiction on the channel. I might do more because I have gotten a few people. I will kind of touch on it. I even have going to start doing a little more. I would say one segment a month on manga and comics. So, but I try to do things that are a little that are not found on other channels. So.
Yeah, what I like is you highlight a lot of indie authors, and some other channels do, but indie authors in the kind of pulp, adventure, and horror space and stuff. And you keep up with the newer stuff, and I don't really keep up with the newer stuff very well. So I learned about some of the cool stuff from you, because there's a lot of new junk that I'm not interested in. But I got enough old stuff to keep me busy for years. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw in more info. There isn't like other things where you have a lot of information coming in, like on fantasy, you have a lot of it coming in, but there isn't a lot of info out there on pulp. And I'm trying to, create a thing where I'm getting the info to come in, having people tell me what's coming out so I can tell other people, because there isn't a resource out there for the new pulp and stuff like that there is other genres.
Yeah. No, I think you're doing a good service with that for sure. Plus, you also still talk about old stuff and things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
great channel.
I
Should
do a
check it
mix.
out, guys. And you're busy as hell. You got about a video almost every day. Seems like recently you've been popping them out.
I'm trying to catch up because I read so much that I didn't talk about, and I'm trying to get reviews out as well as other things. So I'm trying to catch up.
Good for you.
And but as far as I know, it's been about 8 months you've had your channel, Paul. Is that right?
Since I've been working on it as a booktube channel, really, yeah. I mean, I started the channel at the beginning of the year, but I didn't know what I was doing with it. I was just making stuff up, and then I decided I was going to focus because I had a bunch of different things that was kind of all over the geek board. And then about 8 months ago, I started focusing more towards doing just the booktube and moving my gaming stuff to another channel, which I keep ignoring. And then a few months after that, I decided to actually stop going faceless and put myself on camera. And surprisingly, I guess people like that. But, I guess they're attracted to horrible things, and they showed up.
Come on, it's the distinguished beard and the gentle, gentle kind of Hell's Angel vibe you got going on there, and the hat. Yeah, thank you, Paul. I appreciate you coming on today. And David, how about you? You want to talk about your channel a little bit?
Yeah, first I want to say congratulations, Paul, because 1,000. It took me over 4 years to get to 1,000, so that's amazing. Good for you.
I'm not there yet. I'm at only a little over 900. I don't even know 900.
I think it was 940 as of last night. So I think he's gonna hit, and it was 660 like 3 days ago. So I think that was a big jump. So I probably am more aware of Paul's numbers than he is. But I was looking down and going, just out of curiosity, what the hell? 940? Wow, so it's probably 950 something now.
Looking, and I'm like under 100 hours of watch time too needed to. I'm not going to monetize. I'm saying that now, but I just was kind of curious. So I was looking, and I'm under 100, and I'm whatever under 100. I'm on watch hours and under 100 subscribers, which is just great. It's very cool. But I mean, I have no interest.
You mean 1,000? You mean 1,000, right?
Yeah, 1,000.
Not
yeah,
100. Yeah.
I'm not planning on monetizing. I just think it's kind of neat,
Well, Michael K. Vaughn, do you know Michael K. Vaughn at all, David?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
He came out with a really good video about, because there's been a lot of videos. Sorry, he came out with a video, I believe I said. He came out with a video that you're going to get us in trouble here, David. So he came out with a video because a lot of people have been talking about, to booktube, to quit booktube or not. And his was really good. And he just said, look, I got some subscribers, but I would still be doing the same thing if I only had a couple hundred, right? So let's see, you're at 942 right now. So that's pretty good. And David's at 1.2, I think, something like that. So, yeah. I mean, who cares about subscribers? I think I got up appearing on Chris and Virgil's show, Literally Liminal. The live show really gave me a boost and got me up over 500, and I'm at 550 something now. But I'm happy with. I'm surprised 10 people would tune in. So I'm glad for whatever I get, for sure. But David, sorry I interrupt you. Talk about your channel a little bit.
No, I'm eclectic. It's whatever I feel like talking about, I talk about, and that's it. It's like I do a Friday show where I just bullshit about what I did all week, and sometimes I'll make random videos about a record or a comic or whatever. It's eclectic.
Well, I don't
want to fall in that mask a long time because he will hyperventilate and pass out. So.
Yeah, Paul. So yeah, I better wrap up before he does so. But yeah, I think don't sell yourself short. You have a really fun channel, and I like that you cover a lot of different things. Comics, of course, books. You do lots of, just since you're not going to go into detail, David does like a Friday night chat where he wraps up what he's read, watched, done during the week, and then he sometimes does some live shows with other booktubers and comics tubers, and he also sometimes just does on his own, sits around and chats as he mylars his comic covers, and has a puzzle channel if you're into jigsaws at all. Really fun. Been really fun getting to know both you guys. I really appreciate you joining in today. Let's just see if there's any last things here. Let's see. Did I put these up? Chadwick have been collecting the Vampirella omnibus editions. I think I did put that in, and that Mark was here, and Larry said something about managed to get Vampirella hardcover volume 1 when I got it got a second or third printing not too long ago. Yeah, printing that is. Erico, I Walk with the Zombie is a great zombie film. Wonderful atmosphere, so good. Another Val Lewton film, great. Have you guys seen I Walk with the Zombie? Terrific movie. It's not really horror, but it's really cool and super atmospheric, like all of Val Lewton's movies. Larry's Library Geeks Loves Dogs subbed. Sweet. Okay, cool. Hope everyone subs with each other and supports each other. That's one of the things I love about BookTube. What was that muffled oxygen pained breath that came out there, Paul?
He said thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap this up. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Thanks for coming on for my little horror birthday live bash here, and it was a lot of fun. We got a few last comments. Goatman Arg, I'm not sure. I guess because of your mask.
I had to do a little horror Halloween thing.
Sleepy says, my theory is 70 subs is all you need. Yeah, of 70 real people. Again, as Michael K. Vaughn said and others have said, Steve Donahue always says a lot of them are bots, so as long as people you got a regular group of people watching. Larry, Garage Geek is delightfully eclectic. Yes, delightfully eclectic. Erico, thank you. Fun show. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for joining in. And everyone else who came on, Sleepy, Larry, and Goatman, Chadwick, Steve. We had Mark pop in here, and Brian popped in quick. We had Connor from Movie Snapper. You guys should check out Movie Snapper. He's growing new channel. Jake from Port Mortem and Tim from Secret Fire Books. I guess Nick must have been in bed and couldn't join in. And but Nick's got a great channel, The Book Graveyard. Check his channel out. Check your shelf. A lot of cool channels here. I'm going to check out some that I hadn't heard of, like Chadwick's. Welcome, Chadwick. Let's see. Good night, folks, from Larry. Thanks, Goatman. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Thanks for checking in and watching. And Steve, also Manly. Chadwick had fun. Good night. Steve, Manly and Funky. Yes, Manly and Funky is the new catchphrase they come up with.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Good night, Mark. I'm sorry that you only popped in at the end. Sorry to be ending when you just come in, but really appreciate you checking it out. And Erico still has a craving for cake. Yeah, I'm going to go have some of my wife's. She made a chocolate beetroot cake that was phenomenal. I've only had one piece so far last night. I need to have another.
Yeah.
Steve, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And Paul and David, thanks so much. Thanks for everyone for watching. You guys have a great week and look forward to seeing what you have next. I don't have anything planned at the moment. I have one in the can that I have to probably do to figure out when I'm going to post it. But I'll do some more occult detective stuff for October and some more horror stuff probably. Anyway, thanks a bunch, guys. I'm going to try to end the stream this time where I don't have me and David talking for 50 seconds after this stream should have ended. So I'll end it now. Thanks a bunch, dudes. See you later. Party on. Let's do this again sometime. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you taking some time out of your day. Take care.